Hello all and welcome back. I'm your not so humble game master TG, and this is Dice of Age presenting CrestVahllen, the Argent Flame, and we're back. Last time we left off, we were with the other members of the Argent Flame that were left still within the Brass Retreat. They somehow found a way and attempted to find their way, whether it be teleportation or otherwise, back to some of the stranded or just the one stranded individual Zemdak left on some strange area. Delved down deep into the wine cellar and then teleported into what looks like a lab, possibly done by the doctor. Met some very strange creatures, very creepy. Some odd experiments were found, and also some sort of ring or gate with amalgate pieces of well wall attached to it. And just as they were trying to use it to reconnect with their separated comrade, another individual showed up, attacked them, but they were able to escape, although not without some complications and possible casualties. So, we're actually going to pick up this one back where we left Zemdak, and what appears to be whatever Cole may be in Cole's body, standing on the gantry of this core area within what you assume to be is some sort of ship. To paint the picture for you, I kind of drew this up here for you a little bit. There's about 30 to 40 feet between where Cole stands at the edge of where the corridor of the hallway, the gantry kind of is no longer connected to the sides of the walls, as the walls kind of drop off and the floor drops off, and it just goes out. Very Cerebro style from X-Men, that kind of thing. And it just kind of goes off like a plank or a pier off, and metal, no supports, until you hit the core, kind of like a bracer around some sort of piping, like a connector and sort of piping. And then in this piping, there is that still thing that Log apparently controlled, that mechanical creature that is holding on to it and kind of leaning over and around it, that's still attached and stuck in that place. This hexagonal input with these contacts on it that Zemdak was looking at before Trishani away, and he is there, has slowly turned around to see Cole standing there, saying, "The day is full of surprises." The ground around you, in a good probably 60-foot radius, is non-existent. You just have this small area where this core is, Zemdak, and it just kind of drops off, very like just ventilation chute in a Death Star kind of style. It goes all the way down and all the way up. You do see that there is some type of translucent or blue and green-ish color tubing that's almost glass or crystal-like that seems to come out from that connector bit that's kind of like a control unit at the center of where the gantry meets this vertical cylinder, and then it goes up with some sort of light all the way as top as you can, far as you can see, and probably all the way down as far as you can see, aligning the walls all around you. As the floor drops off, and lining the walls all around you that are about 60 feet in radius or more, it's hard to tell, are a bunch more of these humanoid, long, elongated, oval, like glass or crystalline pods. Some of them do have what it looks like some sort of bipedal humanoid creatures or beings or automatons, you don't know, inside of them. Quite a few of them do look damaged, shattered, destroyed, lights out, and maybe there's still something in them, so there's like, it's like looking at a skyscraper in New York City at night and seeing which lights are on and which lights are off. The majority of them are off, but some are still on, and they kind of speckle around it. It's that kind of random, except it's in a cylinder pattern. They go up as far as you can see, lining the interior of this cylinder, and down as far as you can see, lining the interior of this cylinder. Same type of thing that was lining the walls that were a bit slanted this way, that connected the bottom to the gantry of the corridor that moved off until the floor dropped out. Is that enough of a paint of a picture so you guys know what's going on here? Cool. Kevin, you're here should your inner Cole self ever be able to influence any type of agency or something like that. If you feel as though this is more of like There may be a moment where that might come through. If there is something that you would like to try to influence during all this, just raise your hand, because for all intents and purposes, you're not really here. You are locked in a prison, in a glass prison, viewing everything within your own mind. Make sense? Cool. So, we're going to start the scene. Zemnek, you are standing there. You have just turned around. You can refer to the picture that I drew over here. Sorry, guys, but it's no worries. Basically, the control unit, the thing that is around this tube, is much taller than you. It was taller than Trisheni. It's about maybe like 8 or 10 feet tall. So you, even to just get up to that part that had that hexagonal set into it, would still have to be like. You'd have to hold it over your head to put, if whatever goes in there, you try to put something in there.
Yep.
Obviously not meant for someone of your stature. This was not. Otherwise, you don't really see any buttons or other things around here. As you have noticed, there aren't any fasteners around the ventilation or anything like that.
Nope.
You turn around, you see Cole, who at the moment kind of is writhing wringing their hands for a moment, and just kind of like head down, staring at you with the side of their eyes, just kind of assessing you.
Cole, how'd you get here? I mean, Trisheni was just here, and then she wasn't.
I heard you were in trouble, so I tried to come. I used some magic things that are
Do you know how to
strange.
get back? Do you figure out a way back and forth, or did you?
I'm not sure. It was really complicated. I can try to show you, though.
I mean, yeah, we got to get back to the rest of them. Did they survive whatever was happening back there?
I don't know, so we should probably hurry.
What do you mean you don't know? It's been like hours.
I wasn't there for all of it.
Okay,
Once
well,
the shouting started,
we just got to get back. You know how to get back? Do you have an idea? You said you can show me.
I can show you what I did. I'm not sure if I can do it here, though.
Okay. Well, we checked the teleporter room is completely caved in. We already tried that. Wait, if Trisheni got back, did you see her? Or did you go...
I don't remember Trisheni getting back. I must have left before she got there.
Okay. You know how Log's place changed?
Sure.
We're there. Like, this is Log stuff.
That's crazy.
Passive insight of 11. Like, how good of a job is he doing playing Cole?
17 on the die.
Good enough for me. Yeah. Lead the way. Wait, how do you know where you're going?
You know how there's this thing inside my head?
Oh, you mean the eye worms?
No. Well, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just feel it.
And it's telling you where to go?
You got a better idea?
I mean, I don't want to die here, but also, I don't know that you can really trust that thing.
You got a better idea?
Fuck it.
They kind of like step aside and allow you to walk past them back down the gantry.
I thought you were leading the way. I don't know where to go.
Well, I thought it would be, all right, sure, whatever. I mean, fine.
Just walk beside him.
Sure. They turn around. You see the wisp cloak quite a bit larger than it was before. Oh. You also see, what's your passive perception?
14.
14. Okay, yeah. You see them kind of reach to the wisp cloak and kind of move it around and smooth it in their hands.
You know, we probably should figure out a way to get that off of you. It's almost killed a couple of people now.
Well, it's probably too late for that. But that's not what's important right now.
Yes, no, getting back home is important.
Yes,
This place is crazy. Like,
getting back home.
I haven't even figured out how any of this machinery works.
You don't say. I thought you were the smart one.
I mean, in machinery where we come from, yeah, I am smart, but this is so different. I haven't figured even a single button.
Button?
Cog? Power source? Like, none
Oh,
of it. There's
sure.
lights. It's about the only thing I've recognized so far.
Right.
Trishani was starting to figure out some of this, like the runes and things. She was starting to be able to read it, but I got nothing.
So where are we?
No idea. I mean, I think one of the moons, maybe? Like, we did get that much. The gravity outside of this place is definitely different.
Okay. Gravity, yeah. How did you get here?
Yeah, you know when
So you were
Trishani-
outside and you came in?
You know when Trishani does the, like, spatial warping thing?
Sure.
It doesn't always happen the way she wants it to.
Okay. And
So-
how did you
So we ended up in the faceless place, and then we ended up here. Outside of this thing. On the surface of this place. We managed to get our inside through one of the air vents.
So it's okay. So there's an opening somewhere.
Yes, but it's not like outside back home. There's no air.
Back home, right.
There's no air out there. You can't breathe. It's very, very, very cold. Like,
And,
you can't just go out there, you'll die.
How did you get here?
Well, I said we found an air vent and we crawled our way in.
I mean, how did you get from the outside? I mean, this place seems pretty big. How did you get from...
There's a little bubble around my head of air.
Oh,
I made it so that we could breathe.
I meant
out
like
there.
more, how did you navigate from wherever you got into here? Because this
Oh.
place seems pretty big.
Like I said, Trishani sort of was figuring it out. She could talk to the place.
Could she?
Yeah.
How?
Well, it doesn't work in this room. This room is restricted for the voice. But out in the hallway, the voice can talk to you if you know the right language.
Cool, we should probably get going then.
Yes. We're walking down the gantry
Yeah.
as we're talking.
So, do you know which way to go?
Nope.
Oh, right. I do. How did you talk to the thing again?
I didn't. Trishani did. She just talked to it.
Sure. How did she talk to the thing again?
She just talked to it. She knew the right language to speak.
Oh, the right language.
Yeah.
And what may that be?
Whatever she knew from before, the place she went before.
The place she
She
went
hasn't really
before-
talked about it with you guys. Our little space trip, I got a couple of glimpses, but I'm pretty sure that's where she learned that language.
You know anything else about it?
Nope. I think it has something to do with log stuff, but that's all I know. You know, languages aren't her thing, your thing, not mine. She
Right.
didn't specifically say, oh, it was in gobbledygook.
Do you know what it sounded like?
I can...
You want to roll a performance
Yeah.
check? Sure.
imitate it, I guess is the right word I'm looking for. It's going to sound incredibly bad, because that was a 9.
You don't have any language stuff, do you? Comprehend or anything like that? Or tongues or... I don't think you do.
Yeah, I actually have comprehend languages as one of my
I
spells.
was going to say I thought he did.
Is it not listed?
No, it's not listed
Okay.
here.
It is one of my spells.
Is that
It's
a
a bard
second
spell.
level?
First.
First.
It's a ritual. Bards can't do ritual, can they?
Yes, they
It
can.
just says
Oh, they can.
additional spell. They can. It says additional. It doesn't matter. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So you try to do it. What'd you get for your performance?
9.
9. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. I'm not good at this. Like I said, I've been having a hell of a time up here today.
Okay. Well, let's just.
You didn't let Tweg inject you, did you?
No. Why would I do that?
Well, I think that is the stuff that let Trisheni be more effective in here, but we didn't really figure too much of it out before she disappeared again.
What was it that she was injected with?
You know, the stuff that Tweg has now.
I mean, you know it more than I do.
I don't know what it is.
All right. We should
like-
probably try to find that
It's
out,
like the
though,
thing
right?
that lets him like see through other things.
Oh, cool. We should probably try to find out what that is, though, right?
I don't think we're going to be able to do that here. I need Tweg to like get some samples and figure that out.
And Trisheni had it? And,
Trisheni got injected. She already
Oh.
had it in her.
and you don't have any in you.
No. I think who does? My egg does.
Your egg?
Yeah. But he was outside. He's not doing too good. Who else got injected?
Well, I mean, if nothing else works,
What's my egg gonna do?
you said that it has what Trisheni had it in there, right? And Trisheni got it to work?
My egg's an egg.
It's just an egg until it hatches.
No. It's not gonna hatch.
Right,
It's the mimic egg?
right.
Okay. Who else got injected? I think that was it.
Guys are walking along, taking a different route, just keeping going on.
Excuse me, ceiling voice. Can you understand me?
No response.
You getting any? Where are we going? Do you know? Is it
We're
getting any
going
better?
to where I came in. Sorry, I didn't mean to sneak up on you.
I was Trisheni like just disappeared. She didn't mean to, but like I got left alone up here.
Yeah, that probably one of the worst things ever.
So I probably wasn't paying too good attention, so it's not really your fault. What room did you come from?
I mean, it's all our fault. But I didn't really hit where I wanted to be when I got up here, so I had to do something similar to where you were, but I haven't been outside yet.
These hallways are super long.
Yeah, I suppose it's all relative.
Not designed for short folk like me.
I hear that.
So how did you get here?
Well, like I said, I listened to the thing inside me, asked it for help, used some fucked up magic, and ended up here.
And poof.
Yep,
Okay. Can you do it again?
I can try.
Get us back to the others?
I can try. We can either try to go where I came from and try to make it outside, or we can try to poof again.
I don't think outside's gonna help. Because outside's just suffocation and death.
You're the smart one.
Like when you poofed in here, did you just come into the hallway or were you in a room?
In some cramped space, I had to crawl my way out, and eventually ended up in a hallway.
I mean, we can go look, but I don't know if that's going to help.
You would know best. You always do.
I thought you said your thing was guiding you somewhere. Is it just guiding you back to where you came?
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty much. You probably know more than I do. You've been here longer.
I don't know. I haven't been able to figure anything out. I told you
That must be frustrating.
Very frustrating.
So,
While they're talking, what I'm gonna try to do, if I can, is try and see if I can distract the entity in my mind by playing some raucous, body, loud sort of song, and see if I can maybe.
you don't have your lute on you.
That's right. No, sorry, not playing, singing.
Yeah,
some
sure.
raucous.
You want to try to psychological sound warfare this time.
Kind of. I almost want to make it so that way it's like gets distracted while talking to
Yeah,
Zemdek.
you want him to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Yep, totally understand. You can absolutely do that. You can roll a performance check. These are not easy checks. All of the DCs that you will be doing inside of your own mind are going to be 20 or above.
Understandable. It's a performance, right?
Uh-huh.
21.
21. Okay. I'll let you know. Yeah, either that or we can just try to do what I tried and do what our friends do, which is always messing stuff up and chaos.
I mean, that's usually me, but yeah, you're not wrong.
You want to help?
By the way, while we're walking, like, keep an eye out for, like, some hexagon something.
What for?
It may help us in the room we were just in, but I don't know.
How so? You want to go back?
Oh, no, there was nothing in there. So whatever it is, it's somewhere.
What is it?
I don't know.
Well, how do you know you need it?
Some sort of a key or a control board or something.
Oh,
It plugged
okay.
in back there.
Oh, there's something missing.
Yes. So I'm saying keep an eye out for like a hexagon. And
Good to know. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
if whatever we try doesn't work, that may help us.
Yeah. Sure. And, you know what happened to all the things that were in there?
Nope. We tried to figure that out, but it seems like, I don't know if it's just age or if something bad happened, but this ship is not in good shape.
But you have no idea what happened?
Nope. Seemed like it was kind of leaking, and then like some of the rooms are just completely destroyed and collapsed and caved in. And back in that room with the pods, like most of them are dead.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, yeah.
They were probably good people.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They look kind of like they're not really machines, but they're not really like normal fleshy people.
Right, normal. Fleshy is normal. Yeah.
Can I get another deception?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
You want me to roll insight or you just
Oh,
use my
absolutely. This
passive?
is absolutely active at this point.
13.
13. So, is that either that's rollies or I think we err on the side of... let's do rollies.
Okay. Nat 20.
Cole is smiling when he's talking about the unfortunate loss of these things. When he says, you don't know what happened? And you say, no. Oh, you don't?
Okay. You sure that thing in your head's under control?
No. When have I ever been?
It's been a little while.
So you want to try the thing rather than keep walking?
Thought you were taking me to where you came in.
Yeah, well, we can either go there or we can try it here. You were the one that said that you're not sure if it's going to help.
The thing in your head was leading you somewhere. That's more of a lead than I have.
Well, now it's leading me here.
Like right here?
I guess.
Stop walking and just like look at the floor.
I guess. Do you see that hexagonal thing anywhere?
I'd
Roll a perception check.
investigation.
Or investigation, that's fine.
15.
15. Okay. You start kind of looking around and looking at the edges of where the hallway kind of dips down.
Are there any
for the
doors
parts
right
and-
here?
You see some vents. There are no doors in this specific area. There's a bit of like what looks like maybe like a maintenance access that is just like a little bit of an alcove that you start to kind of lean into and look down because it kind of dips down.
Yeah.
Very Star Wars penal
Yeah.
prison ship style dips down a little bit on each sides, and as you are doing so, you have your back to Cole, and you feel a large shadow from the light kind of loom over you for a moment before you feel your feet no longer touching the ground as your vision kind of swirls up. And you feel something tight around your waist and the back of your neck as you are in the process of being suplexed. Do you want to resist this?
I mean, can I?
Athletics check, contested.
Okay. Like to try and roll away from it kind of thing?
Yeah, if you want to like try to wriggle out of it or something, yeah.
Yeah. It's only 6.
6. Nope.
Yep.
You feel like your kind of head locked in, and you feel some of the weird wisp cloak kind of wrap around you as you fully like go upside down and like hit your head on the ground, fully reverse suplex kind of move. You take 3 points of damage, of bludgeoning damage, because I rolled minimum damage, and there is something cold and slimy on you as you see like a bunch of writhing, weird tentacles or something, like creep musculature and tentacles just kind of like pinning you to the ground as if you were like spit by a bunch of sticky ichor to try to be stuck to the wall, very Alien style. But you're like pinned to the ground, and you see Cole just... I see we haven't gotten any smarter at all. I don't know how long it's been, as the arm is still down pinning you, but I can't say it's good to be back, but I do miss you, old friend, as it gazes to the cloak that it's wearing. You, on the other hand, I thought we would have figured this out so much sooner. But thank you for what you did tell me. You feel a tentacle kind of going inside of your jacket and vest and kind of moving around.
Like, buck my body.
Sure.
And cast levitate at him.
On him.
And try and, like, push him off.
Fun. Cool. Go ahead and...
It's a con save on his part.
Sure, I'll say this, like, this thing is still, like, latched on the ground, too,
Okay.
so they'll stay there even with the levitate spell, so you'll still have to do, like, an opposed against the grapple, like,
Okay.
athletics thing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yes, you could still cast the levitate thing.
Yeah.
At worst case scenario with him, they'll still be attached to you, pinning you to the ground,
Right.
and their body may start to float up
Yeah.
if it doesn't go well. Okay? What'd you get? Opposed athletics first.
Okay. 15?
15. Natural 1. So you, your distraction causes this individual like, and kind of loosen the grip as you take that moment and you buck real quick and the thing kind of snaps off as you're in the air for a moment and you grab one of the tentacles and cast levitate before you let go. Not on you though.
No.
So you are still affected by the artificial gravity where this thing just begins to float.
Correct.
and it starts to. At least a little surprising then.
I want to take off down the hallway.
You want to take off down the hallway?
Back to the gantry
You start to
room.
run. It doesn't seem to pursue very much. You can run, but I will find you. There's
So-
not much place to go.
It has to move by propelling off of the walls.
Yep.
Essentially.
You hear
Yeah. I'm sure it's
like kind of
tentacle.
Spider-Manning
Yeah.
its way down. But you are at the moment faster than it as you're running. Where are you going?
Towards the gantry room.
Towards back to the
pod
core.
room. Yep.
You're running. Go ahead. I'm just gonna have you roll another athletics check to see, because this is a bump. You kind of like racing with this thing now.
14. Can I flash of genius? Is it saving throws or is it?
I think it's saving throws and ability checks if I'm not
It is.
mistaken.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm
I'll let you
definitely
do it.
gonna like use my little gnomish body to like find the right corners to cut. and-
Yeah, you're gonna like rather than stop and turn, you're kind of like step on the wall a little bit and
Yep.
wall run to keep your momentum.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. So what did you get?
14.
14 total. Yeah, you seem
Oh, no,
to
no. So then it's 19.
19 plus the 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it. So you are increasing the distance between
Okay.
you and this thing. You start to hear from behind you as some of the all the lights from as far down as you get to see start to periodically begin to shut down as what this ever is appears to be leaving quite the destruction in its wake as it's moving down here. So much so where you're only ever seeing the quickly flash of whatever this thing is, with like Cole's body kind of dock-ocking with all of these other kind of tentacle, weird muscular things that are spidering it through this thing. So you're only seeing like these flashes as the lights go out.
As I'm running, I want to stick my finger in the egg's pocket and see if I can get it to bite me.
Okay, I'm gonna roll another con save for your egg, see how it's doing. Egg seems to barely kind of like even respond to the physical stimulus, but it doesn't. It's like poking a roly-poly bug, where you can tell it's alive, but it's like not responding on purpose. But you don't think this is on purpose, but it's not really been able to do a proper response physically.
It was worth a try. Keep running.
At least of its own volition.
Yeah.
So you keep on running. You're moving. You're running down the thing. You start to hear the voice speak in celestial, and you don't understand what it's saying.
Nope.
But it starts.
Is it lighting up pathways like it was before?
No. Everything's already lit right now.
No, I mean before it was giving us directions.
Correct. Only the
wasn't
pathway that you were going is
Yeah.
being lit. There are some lights are beginning to flicker and kind of go out and then come back, and some
Maybe
places are
I'm-
just like it's almost glitching out.
I'm misremembering maybe, but I thought it like gave us a specific light.
It
path.
did
Okay.
in a sense, yes.
But it was more
what's
just like
happening is that there's a little bit
hallway lights.
more of like a glitchy randomness that's going on right now.
I'm looking for like the quest line telling me where to go.
Sure.
No.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
For some reason, I was I thought it gave us specific like arrows and was telling us where to.
In the dream space with you, in the mind space with you, you see, as you kind of dare kind of make a ruckus and everything, you kind of turn to see your glass cage again in this strange, non-describable place. And something just kind of walks into view from the side of your periphery, just kind of walks into view. It looks like a short, stout humanoid. It just kind of stares at you. Bearded, perhaps dwarven. Puzzled look.
Do I recognize this person at all besides that?
Roll a history check.
Drugan.
Man, that is not one of Cole's good things.
7.
7. Beats you. Why do you fight so much? It says to you in Dwarvish.
Cole looks at it and goes, my friends, it's what... And Cole's going to drop his accent at this point because it's all pretend.
Yeah.
It's all that matters. This family, these friends, it's all that matters.
There was a time I would have believed you, or I would have felt the same. But the thing about family, friends, whatever, almost always let you down. Or you will. You know, it's the safest thing.
What?
Not let yourself get there. Trust is a poison. Trust destroys you. Trust gives a part of you away to others. And so I'll teach you, however long it will take. I will show you what trust has done, whether it be here or somewhere else or there. And you see them gesture, and this kind of like ethereal, just kind of what looks like kind of an oil painting style, just two-dimensional vision just kind of appears where they're gesturing their hand. And you just see bodies strewn upon scorched earth ground, armor everywhere, mechanical pieces, craters and foxholes. This is what trust does. What you saw in that room is what trust does. And I'm as guilty as you. So let's learn together. Let's do what they couldn't. And let's take from them what they took from us. Are you going to help me? Or will you continue to be a petulant child?
Cole's gonna look down for a second. And after a moment of thought, he's actually gonna begin to recite something at him. He's gonna, and Cole, when he looks down, there's this weight of almost defeat on him. There's that heavy weight of, my trust in this thing is now going to kill those I trust most.
Cool. I would like to do this in a call and response way.
Got it.
I assume you have some stanzas of things that you're
Yep,
going to do.
I do.
You're going to do a stanza, then we're going to describe what's happening there.
Cool.
And then you're going to do another stanza, and then we're going to describe what's happening there. We're going to do some call and response. Sound cool?
Yeah.
Cool. So that happens, and we'll come back to your stanza real quick. So
Yeah.
I'll let you know. This thing appears to pause for a moment before you hear it move much faster. You can see the opening, or at least where you would turn to get to the opening of this core. What are you doing?
I couldn't wake it up. I'm so sorry, my friend. You've been with me for longer than anything else. Take the dagger as I'm running, and I stab the egg. And then I want to drink its blood.
You stab and crush the egg as a mixture of blood and somewhat mercury-like liquid kind of oozes out of your hand, kind of dripping along the way as you're running.
And I start trying to
You eat the whole egg, or you just try to
suck up the
you start
mercury-like.
drinking what is there, and it's you killed one of the things,
My longest little buddy.
and you are devouring its essence
Yeah.
as you run. And I imagine Zemdek is doing his best to dissociate in this moment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's still probably tears coming down
Yeah.
my face.
So there's a trail of tears, blood, and silvery mercury
But
that's
it's one of those, like,
spattering across the ground.
Dead, cold faces, but there's still, like, the tears
Yep.
coming out.
Things that need to happen.
Yep.
you do so. It doesn't taste good.
No.
It doesn't feel good.
I'm sure it
You feel
doesn't.
nauseous. You feel sick. Not just from whatever this is, but from what you've just done. What do you do after that as you're running towards this thing? What do you do with the carcass?
Goes back in my pocket.
Okay.
I don't know if you can understand me, but I need you to shut the door as soon as I get through it. And I just keep running for the door.
You keep running for the door.
Yep.
Not the terminal thing?
No, the gantry-way room.
Right. You're smart enough.
Yeah.
The terminal is what
Open the door.
is what opened the door,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
also was the only thing that that you have seen so far that has interacted with the.
Was there a terminal on the inside of the door?
Do you want to check?
Yes.
So you will have to go through
Right.
and then check. So you'll run through as this thing is moving much faster. You say, "There's no point in running. I'll get you."
No, you're right. So I'm going to run to the terminal
The terminal on the outside?
on the outside.
Okay, you run to the terminal on the outside as you start to see the lights start to now it's a straight shot now, and you just start to see ominously the lights start to shut down and little flashes, like camera flashes, 16ths of a second of these weird tentacles attached to the thing as this thing is just now apparently has a grin way too wild for Cole, hair out of the bun, wild, moving about, no longer at the behest of gravity, as is now just wild and free. The musculature floating, just being pulled by the chest by all these things.
Doc Ock style.
Yeah, very Doc Ock style.
I just take the bloody, gooey hand and I slam it into.
Your stanza.
Within the depths, a darkness stirs, an evil presence, a lure it spurs. In vanity, I welcomed its might, to wield its power, a dangerous right. In darkness and waters, I sought control, embracing the force, a perilous goal. No dread or regret, just ambitions glean, to harness its might, a dangerous dream.
You think reciting poetry to me is going to do anything to what has been ordained for thousands of years? Do you think I've been waiting this long to hear you recite poetry? Go ahead and roll a performance check for me.
24.
24. You start to see like the lip quiver thing of like when you're trying not to cry, and the glassiness upon the eyes of this dwarf. You stick your hand into the gel of the terminal. You feel the pressure as this thing begins to pull out way more blood than should come out. How you doing on hit points, Bias?
Nope.
You have 1 hit point. You have 2 hit points. You're so goddamn lucky. That's 1 point of damage as this thing sucks about 3 pints of blood from you before it can finally get to what it is that you've ingested and the nanites that are trying to proliferate within your bloodstream. You are able to like fall to your knees and you get really, really dizzy and nauseous as your hand kind of like slops off as this thing apparently is responding to what is the signal that you're trying to send it?
Close the door.
Close the door. Close the blast doors.
Yeah. As I like fall in like.
It's on like the outside. You'll have to like move in very quickly,
Yeah.
and you're already super dizzy. Go ahead and roll
like
a con save real quick.
Roll
Yep.
through.
Yeah, as it starts to quite quickly.
Con save?
Yeah,
17.
17.
5 is a 23.
23. You're good. That's good enough. You are able to like pull yourself just as much and you're like limp and dizzy, kind of jump through the aperture that's very quickly closing as you kind of fall and tumble and roll and still bleeding from your hand, blood coming out from under your fingernails as it closes, and you see just like one of the eyes of this thing coming very quickly as you heart see as 3 more blast doors close, and you start to you hear as you stumble backwards upon all 4 of your limbs kind of scooting backwards this massive, and you feel all of the vibrations of those pounding. You actually see upon the wall one of the figures that's inside one of these pods was askew and kind of falls through the glass and falls down who knows how far. As some others begin to shake and rock loose and fall down. This thing is shaking almost the entire structure of this area. You are there. You're able to take a breath. And it's like, this is inevitable. I will get what it is that you have that I need. I have not been waiting this long to be stopped by a mere door.
Dad's panic prevention tonic. Stabbing into my leg. Heroism.
Heroism. You got it as you stab yourself. Go ahead, next stanza.
In vanity's grip, I stood alone, haunted by choices I should disown. The power wielded, a double-edged blade, a soul entwined, darkness did invade. Regret now gnawed, like whispered woes, the path I chose where darkness grows, a battle waged within my core, for light or dark forevermore.
You don't get to. You're not in my mind. I'm in your mind. You don't get to do this to me. I'm doing this to everyone else. Roll a performance check.
9.
9. You know nothing of betrayal. You know nothing of what it means to be a traitor. You know nothing of what it means to let down those that you loved most. You know nothing. You are a child. You mean nothing. You are a speck of dust. You don't know what war is. It passes over you, destroys you, leaving you but nothing as a carcass to be covered in dust. You know nothing. How dare you patronize me, preach to me. You are mine. Everything is mine. We're back to you. You start to see the doors dent, and you see some like dust and shrapnel and small shavings of pieces begin to fall off. You don't know how long that's going to hold. It's strong and it's holding. You have like a decent amount of time, but that thing is not going to hold forever.
Yeah. As the heroism, the tonic flows through my veins and makes me feel a little bit better. Struggle back to my feet and start running down the gantry. The hallway towards the centerpiece again.
Yeah, you do so. You run down there. A couple others. One, you dodge one of the pods that kind of falls off of its mooring and almost hits you, shattering and leaving the whatever ambiotic fluid or whatever was in it and the creature. This was one of the lit ones, the one that was contained. That's now shattered, and you dodged out of the way as it hit the hallway. And as you get closer, you see the other thing that was rocking. That log was once closing, rocking back and forth, almost teetering off the edge, but then finds its back purchase where it was, like a statue almost being knocked over, or a vase off of a pedestal. You continue to run. You go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw to try to keep your balance as everything seems to be moving. 17, you're good. You move on one foot and then you spin in order to stay there. You're able to reach the part where the floor drops out.
So it was a good pod that fell in front of me?
Yeah, that you dodged out of the way.
Like, still good
Yeah.
kind of thing? Did the creature make any kind of noise?
Ragdoll.
Okay. Yeah. Running at the thing that was on that central corridor. Am I at the center?
You can be in a moment if you want to be.
Right.
What's your intent?
Running towards the center, the control piece.
Okay. Yeah, you can reach the control piece as you start to hear what sounds like one of the panels of the outer blast are just going to and being torn and thrown into the hallway.
Flying drop kick the thing in the center.
Oh, yeah?
To try and get it out of the way.
Sure,
Just like-
yeah. That's fine. Sure, I'm not going to make you roll for that. It's too cool. It's fine. It's like, if you fail, you're going to fall, and I don't want to do that, so it's fine. You already rolled your dex save, so you're good. We'll just let that ride. You can flying drop kick the thing.
like
It just kind of like
full on sprinting, and I just go
flying.
"Ah!"
You flying drop kick. The head of it just kind of like cracks into it, and it just kind of falls and limps and fall. Ragdolls, less stiff now
Yeah.
that all the servos seem to be loosened.
And then I start making my way to the back side of that control.
As you do so, Cole, in your mind,
Cole's
wait, hold on. As you do so, you see some sort of shadow looming over this dwarf that just kind of like, kind of when a very large aircraft in the sky comes in front of the sun and it just kind of looms and it makes the area darker and the center of it gets darker and darker and darker, even though it should be this. And it's reasonably well lit in this space that's indescribable. It's not like the dream space. It's a little bit more warbly, a little bit, has a bit more of like yellows and oranges kind of mixing in with some blues that just appear to be on the ground, kind of like a marbling, as it were, or like a candy marbling almost. And you just see this shadow off of the horizon, wherever this candy marbling of this floor ends, just begin to creep into the ground and like a veil or carpet over the sky, like Apollo was pulling the night sky across in front of the sun. It's Apollo, right?
yes,
Yeah.
or
The
Helios,
chariot.
either one.
Yeah, Helios, Apollo. And it just kind of creates this larger, kind of like a mirror on a mirror where it just keeps going infinitely, silhouette shadow of this dwarf that gets larger and larger until it's a giant in the distance. And you just hear a whisper. Yes. Go ahead.
After that last line, though, Cole takes a deep breath, and then as he starts to say these new ones, he stands up straighter, as if the defeat's gone, and looks this dwarf flat in the eyes with a defiant look. As he continues with, amidst the shadows, a flicker of hope, in the darkest hour, a chance to cope. With newfound wisdom, I yearn to mend, to save those I cherish, my dear friends. In waters deep, redemption lies, a chance to mend, to heal, to rise. Though trials endured, I'll break the curse, to break them all, to protect them all, I'll face the worst.
Roll performance check.
$26, because I rolled an 18.
You see this dwarf is now tears streamed running down their face. You weren't there! You don't know what it was like! You could not have made the decision that I had to make! You don't know what it's like to betray the one you love the most! You don't get to say that! You don't get to judge me! You don't get to be upon my grave! As it dissolves, as you see the skin peels away from the dwarf, the shadow bursts forth. These red eyes become not just the pupils within the eyes, but just these massive spheres that burst through the skull of this thing. The shadow, the silhouette collapses into this thing, now roiling and taking over the entire light of the area. You know nothing of what loss is, but you shall feel it, and you will remember for all time. Way too many pounds across this blaster behind you. That doesn't make any sense. There were only 4 large tentacle masses. There's no way something could hit that fast, this quickly, that hard. I'm out of time.
One of the flasks with the arcane or the catalyst dust. I'm gonna stick it in one of the pouches of spent terrazine powder.
So you have active terrazine.
There's a flask.
Is it
between
spent
the two.
terrazine?
Yes.
I have a question for you because
Yes.
I want to be reminded of this.
Yep.
When you were in the sewers chasing the orator
Yes.
that appeared to have something
Yep.
on his face,
That was blue terrazine.
that was blue terrazine and it was dust,
It was-
correct?
I
Oh
threw
no, it
the-
was blue terrazine. You sprinkled catalyst dust off
On
of
the blue
active
terrazine.
blue terrazine.
Correct.
Correct. So you are doing this with spent terrazine?
spent terrazine in a pouch with a flask of catalyst dust.
Like
buried
you have a
in-
jar of spent terrazine. Oh wait,
like a leather pouch.
yeah. Of the spent terrazine or the catalyst
Spent
dust?
terrazine.
Okay.
Powder that we ground down into a fine
Okay, yeah,
powder.
okay.
And like sand, right?
You're
Take the flask of the catalyst dust and stick that down in the center of it.
okay.
I'm going to pull out the dagger-sized dragon tooth that I still have left. Because making his, I got to make the copy material in Log's World. So I still have the actual tooth.
Right, because you have the manifestation of it. Yes.
I'm
going to tell you something real quick, because as you
Yep.
take the flask of catalyst dust and you pour it into the spent terrazine.
No. In the flask itself, I'm burying the flask into the pouch.
Right, so I understand. So you're just sitting it in there.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. With the top open, but not it.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
cinch the pouch back down.
Sure.
So that it can't fall out.
You're making a bomb.
Grenade.
Yeah.
And then dragon tooth dagger. And I'm going to...
I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah.
You need to either roll a tinkering check or an arcana check. I believe they're the same technically in this instance because you'd be using intelligent for either. But you have to tell me which one that it is that you're doing because I'm going to give you 2 different answers.
Tinkering for 17.
Tinkering for 17. One of the things that you realized when you were doing experiments before is that you remember the experimental method.
Mm-hmm.
You experiment, you only change one variable at a time.
Mm-hmm.
What happened before wasn't with spent terrazine, it was with active terrazine.
Yep.
You're not sure if this is going to work.
Nope. But I got a plan.
Okay.
I'm going to look... I mean, when I got to the back side, was that hexagon just like... It wasn't just like sitting there, was it?
No,
Okay.
it was not just sitting there.
Just making sure. Because Log was looking around for it. I just want to make sure...
Yeah. You see it just laying right there this whole time.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to look out over the edge, down the abyss that falls below me,
Okay.
and fall. With no fear, because I can't feel it at the moment.
As the air whips past you as the artificial gravity continues to pull you down this darkened chamber. It's not super dark, but it doesn't have the same type of lighting as it was in that more like cerebral, like core chamber, as all that is here are some of the few pods that still have the light and the fluid of the blue-green kind of turquoise feel that only illuminate, as well as the light that has of the crystal beam that seems to be coming down. It is solid of the crystal cylinder that comes coming down from the core there. So you are lit only in this dim blue-green glow as you're falling. Pods and pods and pods coming, whizzing past you so fast that it looks like the stars during hyperspeed as you go down and down and down. You have no idea how far this goes.
Tooth of the space dragon. Jam it into my grenade.
You're going to break all of the things at the same time. Okay, I'm going to need you to...
Again, tell me what happens.
Yeah, so I'm going to need you to do a couple things
Yeah.
here. I want you to first roll a luck check.
Yeah. If he dies, he dies. 17.
17. Okay, now I need you to roll a... you can't dex this.
No.
So you're going to have to roll a Constitution saving throw. So go ahead.
12.
12. Okay, and I need you to roll a D100.
Is it over there?
Yeah.
$73.
73. Okay. You jam the dagger. This is part of the spatial dragon, correct? You jam the dagger into this. It pierces the glass as it shatters, and you see the terrazine just start to go up as it catches more air than you do as you quickly pierce the thing. All of this happens in a split second as a bullet time. As Lacrimosa plays in the back of your head, and what do you say in the back of your mind if you had to say one last thing?
I'm sorry.
You whisper as the sound of the wind whizzing past you and hitting your clothes begins to fade. As you begin to only hear what it is that's inside of your mind, you pull back the dagger, still tears coming down your face from what you had to do just moments earlier. As you hold it grasping on it with your dear life, almost crunching the glass as it is, and you stab in. You say, and you can hear yourself whisper this, even though you're falling so fast with all the wind whizzing past you. I'm sorry. And slow motion bullet time, you see the dagger penetrate the glass as it begins to shatter and then begins to tear the bag. And you see the catalyst dust come out and begin to mingle with the spent terrazine and kind of form a bit of a double helix, perhaps on purpose, perhaps not. And as that final mixture begins to make contact with the hilt and the blade of the dagger itself.
Oh, it's just a tooth.
Yeah.
An unrefined.
It's a sharpened
Yeah.
bone.
Yep.
Blade. Bone blade.
Sure.
You see this kind of purplish stutter of glow, similar to when you have a bunch of ash or charcoal on a camping pot and then set it on fire and it does that ember spread type thing. And it burns it all up, like how flash paper or other types of ashes then glow, or when burnt newspaper then gets burnt a second time within a fire. You see that happen as it catches and follows it like black powder up until it hits the glass and the more concentrated portion of both of these things. There is a concussive blast. A bunch of shards of glass. The last thing you see is spraying your face before you take a bunch of damage and you pass out.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 hit points left. How many? Actually, temporary. Actually, how many?
5 temporary, 1 real.
Oh yeah, you're down.
I'm
So
just thinking of my friends, of my brother, of my family, the promises I made.
the last thing you hear before fully falling into unconsciousness is this that fades very quickly as you dip into unconsciousness. There is a feeling of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what has happened. Cole. In your mind, you see the shadow kind of recompose itself. And now there's, again, in like to shrink back into this figure of this dwarf that now has like these ethereal wisps of smoke and black kind of coming off of it. The eyes now glowing bright red, but quickly begin to diminish into a more dull crimson as it begins to pull itself back together. Well, I suppose we'll know soon enough. We're almost through. I can see it now. Shall we wake them? Shall we make it fall? Or shall we do to both of these peoples, or more, what they have all done to us so many times over? What do you think? Oh, I think I can see him now. Oh, that's tragic. It looks like in a spurt of empowerment, they decided to take their own life. You see what happens when you trust others. They'll always let you down. Well, they'll take your silence as a sign that you are mulling it over. Don't worry. Hopefully you'll have just as much time as I did. Now, to say something?
Oh, I was gonna keep going with what I was saying because
Yeah.
to try and stop him. Yeah. Cole will keep looking at him, just staring, tears starting to actually roll down his eyes, seeing what he's seeing, seeing
It's like
everything.
almost all but dismissed you, thinking that you're done, you're defeated in this. And as it begins to like walk away from the horizon, you
With strength and love, I'll take a stand to shield them from this malevolent hand. In the power harnessed, I'll find the key to save them all, to set them free. Now hope shines bright, a guiding star. I'll face the darkness near and far. For in this struggle, a truth unfolds, the power of love, a tale retold. And Cole just breaks down.
begins weeping.
And I mean, even shows that, because he talked about how Cole doesn't know betrayal and trust. Cole gives him glimpses very fastly of him walking out of his parents' house. No notes, no anything. And Cole's potential idea of the response the next day when his parents find that he's gone. The loot's gone. There's no note. They don't know where he is.
You see it like twitch and turn around quickly and stare at you, and then again begin to grow as the silhouette, and it just go no, and the whole plane shatters. What you see before you, your glass, your reflection in yourself shatters. Not the glass that's containing you, but the actual thing that you are in shatters as your mind is adrift. Everything shatters. It shatters, cracks across the actual fabric of whatever this is, shatter as it all shuts down. You don't no longer have consciousness, self-consciousness. You no longer have sentience at the moment. Everything stops, and nothing but abyss before nothing. At this point, I'm going to ask that you go upstairs and bring everybody else downstairs.
Sorry, folks.
Okay, so we'll come back with what has happened to the majority
As dead,
of,
maybe.
and time is of the essence. So,
Sorry, this music choice is.
is it bad? We
No,
can do
it's-
something else.
It's kind of
It
great.
was just the timing of that drop.
Yeah.
It was just
Okay,
That was hard.
so we can.
happy. It's good.
Who went through first? I believe it was
I did.
Argus. You come through
Arm.
weightless.
Wait, one hand or one arm.
It's your right arm that got severed, right? Yeah. You come through weightless, floating, not sure, tethered to something that's appears to be like some sort of ripple in space or something that's some sort of tear or opening, it's spinning, it's spiraling. But you see, as around you, just stars everywhere. As far as you can see, it's the first thing that you can see. You also like can't breathe. What's your constitution modifier?
I had told everybody to breathe, take a deep breath
That's
before
fine.
we went through, just so.
Yep.
It's plus 3. Plus 3.
+3. So you can breathe for 3. You can hold your breath for 3 minutes before you start suffocating. Once you start suffocating, if I'm not mistaken, you start to take damage. And once you are out of that damage, someone look it up for me,
Yep.
please.
Doing it.
Pretty much. And then if you end up at 0 while you're suffocating, you just die. You're not doing death saving throws. You just die. So you can't breathe, and you pop through, and then comes Eleazar and Meckel at the same time. That come through, and they're like floating too. Eleazar like reaches out and try to grab Meckel because just doesn't know what else to do, as they're kind of in this triangle with one part of it still going back through this. They're like, all as well. Please keep track of everybody's con modifiers.
Number of minutes equal to 1 plus your con modifier.
1 plus your con mod, so 4 minutes. Yeah.
When you run out of breath or are choking, you can survive for a number of rounds equal to your con modifier.
There you go.
At the
So
start of
6
the
minutes,
next
6
round.
seconds time that. Yeah.
At the start of the next round, 0 hit points, dying.
Yeah.
Straight up. So you have 4 minutes and
Plus con
4
number of
times
rounds.
3. You have con number of rounds, so 4 times 6. So you have 4 minutes and 24 seconds before you die. Meckel, how many minutes and seconds do you have before you die?
So I've got a con modifier +2, so that's
2 minutes and 12 seconds before you die. Next comes through Log.
1 con. modifier.
1 minute and 6 seconds.
2
before...
minutes.
I'm sorry, 2 minutes. Yes, I'm sorry.
2 minutes and 6
3
plus
minutes
1.
and 12 seconds for you. 2 minutes and 6 seconds for you. Trisheni comes through last.
Bubblehead.
Bubblehead.
She can breathe.
She can breathe.
She still has bubblehead.
It's 24 hours and it doesn't require concentration. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what happens to the caster of the spell. It just happens.
It just lasts for a day.
Save us, Trisha.
So it's
There we go.
it's phew,
Is
what comes through. The vast majority of you are Trisheni, as you come through, the vast majority of your friends are like,
Told you, don't breathe. Don't do it. Just hold your breath.
they can't, talk to you. They're in
I
the
know.
vacuum of space.
I know they can't. but I can talk to them.
Yeah, you can.
I can
And
read
so-
your lips.
I can read your lips as well.
Yes. I try to just assess where
Roll
we
it.
are. In
Try to
relation
assess where you are?
Yeah. In
Okay,
relation to
you
where-
are floating and everything. Trying to move is not going to be work unless you want to use the momentum of the other people that you're tethered to.
Yeah, but are we on the ground? We're just floating in space.
You're floating in dead space.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, you only have 1 perception right now because you can't really turn. You
have to move your head.
you need to
Yeah.
make some leverage in order to be able to give yourself a thing. You can move your head, but there's still always going to be a blind spot.
Firebolts, propulsion, kind of like.
Awesome! That's so super fucking cool. Absolutely, you just go like, boop,
Yep.
and you just start to spin like thrusters. That's so cool. God damn it! Ah, this is supposed to be a lot harder. Damn it.
Still hard.
I'll start like lighting up.
We're still suffocating.
You start lighting up. Fuck, never give people fire spells. Oh, wait a second. No, magical fire doesn't
Yep.
necessarily need
Magic.
oxygen to go. All right, fine. Yes, you and just like spin yourself, very thruster
Yeah.
style.
And I'm just again investigating, trying to see what.
You turn around and you see there's a gray planetoid off in the distance. It's pretty far away. It's not like it's meaning like when you see something that is big, that looks like it's close. It could be a lot bigger, especially in the expanse of space. But it's hard to tell. As far as you can tell, it kind of dominates your vision when you finally turned around, and the rest of you can get kind of pulled as she thrusters everything. You can see. Roll a perception check, actually. Couple things. Trisheni, roll a perception check.
Sorry. Just checking.
Passive perception of 20.
Yep.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yep.
You see there is an aberration on the surface. Something that looks familiar.
Okay. I.
You are on the side of whatever this planetoid is, where you see something very large that is kind of embedded in, like, it looks like the double tetrahedron thing, but it's still, the planetoid is still seemingly far
Really
away.
far
It
away.
looks very close, but you don't know how big this thing is. But I will say, because you're smart and you know the size of this thing,
Mm-hmm.
you would say it could be a couple miles away, maybe more.
Okay. All right.
In the vast expanse of space, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I would start trying to move as quickly as possible. Cast
drag everybody else.
Cast Long Strider on myself.
Okay, Long Strider just increases your movement speed.
Yeah, but
you
if
have
I-
no movement speed at the moment. You don't will yourself moving. You are in space.
Okay.
You don't have anything to walk on. You don't have anything to move, unless you have something like fly, which magically gives you leverage, that type of thing,
I
or like
could-
using the firebolt as thrusters, those types of
Yeah, I
things.
know. Yeah.
Movement speed doesn't mean anything. You have no leverage.
I
It's
do
like
have
you're
it.
under the effect of levitate.
Fly. Tear it out of the backup spell book.
Cool. Are you casting Long Strider and fly?
Long Strider lasts an hour, so yeah, I'll do both.
Because Long Strider just increased your movement speed on your
By
walking
10.
speed, right? Your base.
I believe it's just.
Well, I'm sorry.
movement.
I'm gonna actually say here because I'm pretty much sure the spell just says it.
Target speed increases by 10 feet until the spell ends. That's all it says.
Fly grants you a speed of 60, and then Longstrider would then
Make that
stack on top of that. Yeah, because it doesn't. Fine. Yeah, sure. You have a speed of 70. If you want, you're going to be trailing and towing everybody else behind you.
Yeah.
This is going to take a while if you're trying to go there. You have a passive perception of 20. You see what she sees. You're seeing what everything else that's going on.
So I'm going to try to use my flame and try to start moving.
You're trying to give her more propulsion, more thrust.
Because I'm seeing what's going on.
Sure. What spell are you using?
Just produce flame.
Just
I got
produce
no-
flame.
I got
So
no
produce
spell.
flame is like a ball that you can throw.
Yeah.
It's not like a like firebolt that has its own
Right.
like thrust. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. Does that make sense?
I know.
It's like
I got nothing
it's
else.
just a ball that's on fire that you can throw. You can help. It'll help a little bit if you're trying to direct it.
Yeah, I
like,
got nothing
but it's not
else.
like Ermgrim where you can just like that type of thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can try that. Anybody? What is anybody else doing?
Well, so I imagine since before I was trying to warg it to like, and now I can't breathe, that'd probably be a message to like, okay, I should probably stop warging. See where I'm at, see what they're doing, then I'll start blasting.
Yeah, you can blast.
Go in
It's
there,
it's this is really great. You are like firebolting and flying like, and so it's going like you're doing this back and forth because it's one hand the other hand, one hand the other hand. You're just kind of like produce flame like underneath your crotch to try to because you can only have one produce thing. So you're just this kind of other little like dwarf thing that's moving behind.
Dwarf
her.
rocket.
Yeah.
Little dwarf rocket that's trying to help out. So the rope between you is a little slack, more slack. Then you see Log just going. Just ping-ponging back and forth. As his Eldritch Blast don't go straight. They move around. So he just like, and he's just being thrown this way and then being yanked by the rope. And you are, for all intents and purposes, getting forward momentum, but you're also going in very catawampus ways of things. So you just look like a cat toy that's being batted back and forth as you're being propelled forward.
I see we're not making as much progress as I want, and so with me going more at the front.
I have a quick
each
question
time-
actually before you do this. Is Eldritch Blast, Firebolt, or Produce Flame have a vocal component?
Mine's okay. Well,
If it does,
You're
I
okay.
wouldn't use
Pretty
it.
sure it does.
I think it's that you can't use it.
Oh, I wouldn't have tried. If I couldn't talk, I wouldn't have tried.
While they're looking that up, is it cold here in space? So is his limb
that you see.
freezing? Oh, it isn't.
Not that. Oh, you mean his
It's
arm?
his arm, yeah, that I'm holding
Yeah.
onto. Is freezing?
So it is the way how I'm doing this because the universe, my universe of space is just a little bit. It's very very cold, but it's not. You're like it's the absolute death cold. You're gonna like die because you freeze to death in like milliseconds type of thing. It's not that you are under the effect of some light. You do kind of look around and you do see like a star. Or like a sun and everything. You can see other little things in the distance. But right now, the closest thing that you are really focusing on, most of you have tunnel vision to this closest planetoid and some light that's glancing off of it. And you don't really care about too much else right now because you are all about to suffocate. Does that make sense? It is very cold here. Prolonged time here will do stuff like that and cause some severe damage. But as far as like freezing right away, not really. You do see quite a bit of the end is cauterized because of what
cauterized.
happened. So both your arm is missing. You don't have both arms, right? So both your arm is like cauterized, and so is the arm that you grab that you're just kind of flailing around. It's not like oozing blood or anything.
Okay, so I'm going to take one of the fingers of that arm, put it in my mouth, so I have two hands free, and start pulling myself closer to Argus.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. You want to make yourself one piece of mass rather than a bunch of dangling
Yeah,
pieces.
I'm
You
trying
got
to.
it. It was.
My spells are vocal, so I wouldn't have said. I wouldn't have done it.
Okay, so you're just there, kind of like
only got one
spinning
arm, I
because
can't.
you're off. You're
I'm coming.
You're off balance now because you're not. You don't have equal balance on that side, so you're spinning as you guys are going. As you
will-
grab onto them, and Meckel then catches them, then both of you begin to spin.
will be-
Behind, you guys are trapped to Eleazar, who's attached to Log, who's attached to Trisheni.
Yeah, Eldritch Blast is also vocal, so I wouldn't have been able.
Okay, so yeah, it's wild, guys.
She's
That's
just
fine.
the end of the string,
pulling,
pulling everybody
it's fine.
along.
and every once in a while, I'll be blasting us, but every once in a while I'll give each of you using Druidcraft a gust of wind into your mouth?
You cannot. You can only.
create.
You can create a gust of wind. You cannot create air.
It. Yeah, but I mean, it's up to you.
Like you know
I
what
was
I'm
trying.
saying?
I was
I
trying.
know. I understand.
I know, you
you
know.
can move air. You cannot create.
Puff of
it.
wind is.
Yeah, a puff of wind is not like. It's not the same, unfortunately.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You need a medium to be able to manipulate. For unfortunately, so, nice. I will not knock the hustle though. Nice,
Okay.
nice try. So okay.
Right, so I just keep blasting.
You
as
just keep
much as
doing
I
this.
can.
You're realizing you're not moving anywhere near fast enough to get there.
Yeah, before.
You look at Log. He's turning purple.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No, you're not there. Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
Hey, like.
It's the hustle, man. It's the hustle.
It's the hustle, but also
What is it you're doing?
continue moving forward, and every once in a while be like, "Hey, come into my bubble."
You will have to pull them towards
Yeah.
you,
You're flying.
or have them like.
Yeah.
You'd
I'm
have to fly
flying.
towards them.
Well-
Or towards us.
I'll say this:
can
there is
motion.
going to be a point at which you can fly and just kind of collect everybody, where everybody's just hugging you, and you're just one
just
mass,
like
and
real
everybody
men.
kind of pulls up. People see what Meckel's doing, and they're all trying to come together, and that way it's one mass rather than a dangling with a bunch of other masses, making it very, very difficult to maneuver. Yeah, they can do that. You can.
I know.
This is some fucking shenanigans, okay? The bubble that's around your head, I'm not familiar
We're
as
doing
familiar with the
just
spell,
one at a time.
but it does create breathable air for 24 hours that's just around your head. It doesn't say that you can just breathe. So, fine.
It's a spectral globe around the head. Of
No,
the
I don't want to hear it. I don't
So
want
if
to
we
hear
all
it.
put our heads
What I
together.
do want to hear is it a semi-permeable membrane? Is it a selectively permeable membrane? Can things pass through it? Can physical objects pass through it?
It doesn't say. Just says it's a spectral globe around the head of the creature.
Spectral kind of makes me think that it's somewhat
Ghostly.
permeable.
Yeah.
Fine. Yes, people will take turns. This, however, is not going to solve the problem.
No.
This is going to delay the problem. It will not solve the problem.
Yeah.
Too many people need to breathe and too much succession for that to be fully solve the problem. You're still, it will give you more time, but you're still going to have to get fucking somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a little ridiculous. You use fly. You have 10 minutes for fly, correct?
Yeah.
You use fly and you start to move as fast as you can. Couple things happen as you are moving in this ball.
Fly again
Okay,
with the fireball helping, etc. Yeah.
I need
7,000.
everyone to roll dexterity saving throws now that you're all one mass. Not you. I do need you to roll dex saving throw.
Do you want me to, or do you want to do them for me?
That's a very good point. Give me that.
Because I have no idea what's happening.
Oh, the
Tower.
yeah, the tower and
So basically, then is our con ticks then just recharging, so we don't have to keep.
Kind of, yeah. I will. So
For now.
basically, that mechanic has kind of been thrown out the window for the moment, meaning that I'll let you know when it starts to get close. Does that make sense? Because I'm not going to keep track. That's too much shit to keep track of. It doesn't make any sense. It will delay the issue, so you have more time. But yeah, we don't have to worry about the minutes anymore.
So, 10 minutes of 70 feet per turn is 7,000 feet.
it's over
So
a
it's
mile.
a little over a mile.
Well,
But not
yeah.
two.
Also,
Does that include
So in
dash
10
and-
minutes,
well,
I will
right.
Oh,
say.
yeah, dash. So double that.
So
Yeah.
double that. I was
Yeah,
about
so
to
I can
say.
get-
You don't think that everyone here is going to
14.
last 10 minutes?
No. so-
14,000 feet is 2
I would say like you're
Almost 3
lucky
miles.
if you get everybody here to last for like 6 minutes.
Yeah, and I've been doing fireballs.
So if you
again,
double dash 120 feet, which should actually be 140
no, 140 feet. Yeah.
140 feet times 10 is 1,400 feet per minute.
Yeah.
And a pace of 6 minutes brings us to about 6,000, no,
Seven,
times
8,400.
8,400 feet, right?
Yep.
8,400 feet, which is like
Mile
a mile and
and a
some
half.
mile and a half, a little bit more, right? No, just about a mile and a half. That's not enough. Everybody rolled a dexterity saving throw, correct? What'd you get?
10.
18.
14.
Disadvantage 13.
13. Okay, everybody's going to get hit by this. As micrometeorites start to go through as you're passing through some sort of asteroid belt, some micrometeor asteroid belt that's surrounding this planetoid and stuck in its gravitational pull. Those are all failures.
18?
Oh, 18, I'm sorry. It was like 14.
I'm just thinking you shoved me in front of you.
Argus in the
really
middle
have
of the bundle is the smallest target.
I'm in the middle. Miss me.
13 points of piercing damage to all
I'm
of those who
unconscious.
failed, and 6 to all those who succeeded. So
I'm
6 to
unconscious.
you and 13 to everyone else. Are you down?
No, but I need to roll because I took damage.
You do.
Okay, 17. We're fine.
You're fine.
Okay.
The cool thing is that most of them don't have to breathe.
Yeah. And I have food.
You're an asshole. Okay, perfect. Okay,
You go unconscious.
Yep.
and
Log drops
shove-
unconscious.
Take out one of
Good
the
berry.
one of the potions.
Oh, okay. Which one?
Which
Big
one?
Medium? There's
Small,
way
medium,
you
or
can't-
large?
You can't get him to drink
Small,
that.
medium, or biggie?
No, we got to do at least maybe a little.
Medium, bigger, or
Give
smalls?
him medium. We have 11 of them.
Medium. Here we go. Not today.
Go ahead and take 4d4 plus 4. Then roll a con. And then I'll tell you if you need to roll the thing. Well,
Is it-
you always do. It's
it's
just the
medium.
con that helps find on what side of the fence these things have.
Did you do the medium or the large?
The medium.
Medium.
So
Okay,
there
make
isn't
sure
a
you mark it
difference
down.
in the D8s. I'm just D4s. I mean.
4d4 plus 4. Yours was 8d4 plus 4.
Okay, I just couldn't remember.
Yeah. And then the small ones are 2d4 plus 2.
We have 1 large, 10 medium, and 3 small left.
So that was 44 plus 4.
4d4 plus 4, then roll a con save, and then roll a percentile die, please. A d100. Okay. Everybody, nobody else is unconscious? Okay, you are able to do that. You use your action to give him a potion, which slows you down.
I did it.
You did it?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
I had the potions.
Yeah.
She put them in my bag.
Yeah, okay, sure, cool,
So
sounds good.
con save at disadvantage.
And you are
3.
tethered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D100, please.
I'm like, I'm the one who has the potions.
Yeah.
I think that's just a 10, right? That's a 10.
Argus,
that's a
now
0.
that you have like kind of gotten your bearings and aren't just like massively spinning and moving throughout the
That's just a
the
10,
thing, you look back to where you came from, and there looks to be a well wall just floating in space. That looks like something you may probably came out of.
Cool.
That's just there. Like
TJ, a 10 and a 0.
a 10 on the D10.
And a 0 on the D10.
So what the double digit one
The
is
double
that-
digit is a 10.
10 on the 100 and a 0 on the 10.
That's 20.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's 20 because
Yeah.
a 0 on the D10 is 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus 10 is 20.
Plus
Okay.
what's on the D100.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was my D100.
Okay, cool. Like for yeah. So like the only way to get a 100 is 90
0, 0.
and
Yeah.
a 0 on the 10, which makes it a 10.
Oh, yeah. 90.
90,
90 and 10.
90 and 10. Yeah.
Yep.
It's addition, guys. There's always so many. No, it's not you. It's just like there's a big
There's
argument about
interpretations
like
on
how
how-
people read
yeah.
D100s. It's wild.
You
so you
can't
got
get to all the numbers if you don't do it that way.
Right.
Right.
exactly
It's just
It's 0 to 99 if you do it the other way.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of 1 to 100.
Exactly. So thank you guys. Love you. You got a
head
20, correct?
Yes.
Woo, boy. Okay, you go.
it's logical now.
If you're going to change into something, make sure it has a fly.
Right, that would help.
Yeah.
That would help. It doesn't have to breathe. I mean, like, something.
A giant flying
What's this
tardigrade.
choice?
He doesn't have one.
Log begins to, as Log, like it's his turn to come up close to you and be like, sorry, and take a sip and everything. You see him like, as he's like really, really close to your face, he begins to like heave, and then there's like fur, like a little like fur tail that kind of comes out, like of like wool or something comes out, and he's like, and it's like he's giving birth to a small lamb that's coming out of his mouth.
Lambs
it's like,
again.
It's coming, that it's going into your bubble, and you're just like, oh my god, it's just covered in like amniotic fluid and spit and saliva
Good
that
thing
just
I
kind of
can't
gets.
smell anything.
And
Question.
then there's just like this lamb, Log's face, and your face kind of all in this bubble. Do you guys hold on to the lamb, or do you let it float into space?
Is the lamb seared?
The lamb is not sheared.
Okay, just wondering. If it's
The
the
lamb
same
is not sheared.
Oh.
It looks like the same lamb. It's just been a while, so it'll regrow his hair.
Ew.
What are you gonna do with
We don't
this?
have a bag of holding.
No,
But it's so cute.
I don't want to kill it either. But
Okay, no, yeah, we need the air. Okay. I'll very sadly push it out.
Bah.
I'll grab onto the leg.
Roll a dex check.
Oh, with
Yeah.
disadvantage.
It's not
That's
hard.
really disadvantage. 12 on both dice.
Yeah, I mean, you grab onto it.
13 or was
Oh, with a dex.
The lamb doesn't know it needs to hold its
Yeah,
breath.
it's a 14.
So
Lamb's gonna die.
it's trying to
That's-
bleat.
It's good eating.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Actually, I wouldn't know.
Never had lamb.
That's what happens.
I mean, they don't have souls, apparently.
So you drink the potion, you heal yourself, and you spit up a lamb.
so in
Good
character
stuff.
for Log, it's not even funny.
yeah,
At least it won't weigh us down.
Okay, second complication, and do you guys
Now we know
go
how the other one
through
showed
now.
up.
At least on a graph.
You begin to see what looks like some sort of like wave of radiation, or like a solar flare kind of deal that appears to be kind of just traveling through space. It's small, but it has some type of rainbow thing to it that you're on an exact collision course with. It's very, very small, but it's from what you can see, but it's something that would hit your whole group. You kind of look around and you sort of think, whoa, there's actually quite a few of these just kind of chilling around here that just kind of slowly move through space. You're on a collision course for this thing.
Okay.
You need to make a split-second decision of what to do, and it's going to give, if you try to dodge it, it's going to make you feel quite a few G's.
gotcha.
Would my mirror shield help at all? Not really.
Not
Try.
radiation.
Not really, like,
I shove Argus's
UV
arm.
radiation is light. Microwave radiation is also something that's reflectable. What's up?
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
shove.
Which direction is it going?
It's coming at a
big
perpendicular
mirror
angle from you.
Can we? That's a good idea. And take the shield and use it as like a solar sail to try to get it to push us in even closer towards the planet.
You're like headed to the planetoid. You're doing this way, and it's coming this way.
Right. So you can.
You
catch
could
it.
try to kind of do something like this if you want to. Sure, that's some fucked up shenanigans. Sure. Here's what I'll do: is that you guys You guys are working together on this.
And I again can blast and stuff and try
Sure,
to
if you need
give,
to
like
kind of
calculation. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Roll an intelligence check for me to do some on-the-fly
Don't
aerospace rocket science
Not too stupid.
calculations here.
15.
15. You're
It's
like
not too stupid.
best guess. You're like, I think this is it. As you kind of pull the Argus, you pull your thing up there. I need you to roll a dex save for me. You got to be able to adapt quickly to whatever the angle this is coming at.
That was nice.
Tell me it's a nat 20. Get the fuck out of here. Log, you see this like death ray starting to approach you. Meckel, both you and Log just see this absolute ray and wave of what looks like
I
death.
shoved the lamb at it.
Oh no!
Sacrifice the lamb.
You like toss the lamb and goes like
it's gonna
it starts
barbecue
to spin
it.
at it, and
Yeah.
you just see
Anybody's hungry?
dinner. You see cooked lamb that just as like part of it kind of explodes, and it just kind of sears like as though it was in the flash radius of a
I
nuclear
would
bomb.
say you, but then I'd probably lose your finger and your arm would fly away. So
God, we killed.
I didn't.
we
They don't
cooked
have.
it.
it was
You
dead.
determined they don't have
That's what
souls.
happened. I don't know what.
We cooked it.
It's already been established that they don't have
Hey,
soul.
I have to
hunting?
put a disclaimer into this episode because
Some space traveler in the
Log
future
giveth
is
and
going to
log
come across
taketh
a very
away.
nicely cooked lamb dinner.
Yeah.
yeah, very nicely cooked, preserved frozen lamb.
Freeze-dried, pre-cooked lamb dinner.
Oh my goodness.
Unless it flies back in the portal.
When you guys are level 20 and you're like traveling through space, you're just gonna be like,
That's where I
you
put
hear
it.
something hit the deck. It's a cooked lamb. Didn't we? Yeah.
And then I move behind Argus.
Of course you do. Log, you're just like there, kind of like a bit in front of Argus. While Argus is like trying to put the shield in front of you. What do you do?
I'd let
Yeah. He's like, try to get away from the death ray, and you put the shield
It's been
in
a
front.
long fucking day for Law.
Yeah, you natural 20. You're like at the last second. You're like shit, and you just angle it in a weird way as you just kind of like, and this thing hits you, and just you feel the light have tangible, hard light properties as it just kind of pushes you. Now, because you had to tilt it at one way and not hit it straight on in order to gain certain trajectory, it does cause you to spin very, very fast. So con saves for everybody to be able to, or no, strength saving throws for everybody to hold on to the mass of the ball. Because this is the type of thing where even if you let go, there could be enough centripetal force for it to snap the rope, and then you go floating off into space.
I hate you so much.
+4, don't forget.
+4.
+4 because
Eleazar.
Eleazar's on the loop.
Yay. It does.
Wait, was it
No,
just +2?
It's +2. Not
Is it
four.
+2?
Yeah.
+2. It's charisma modifier is only 2. What's up? What'd
Yes,
you get?
+2.
5.
21.
21. You're fine.
Help me.
Help me, God.
Help me.
9.
So with the +2, 8.
I'm not the only one.
So, Eleazar, I'll roll for him.
Sorry, then.
Should have been the other row.
I should have used the magical rope.
What's his strength saving throw?
+6.
That's added with the aura already, right?
Yeah.
That includes the yeah,
That's
so
only an 8 plus
+4.
Eleazar. So Argus
Holding on to my shield.
holds on to the shield and stays at the center while everybody else just irradiates out from him as they all go. Pew, 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 pew.
That'll slow the spin down.
It will slow the spin down. That is very, very correct. So I will take that into account. We'll reduce the DC here by 2. What's up?
Oh, nothing. I'll just keep going. I do have.
I'm going to roll
ideas,
con
but-
saves for each of your ropes. You have fly, but it's going to take you time to try to pick somebody up.
Right.
That's going to
And
cost
I-
you precious
I have
time.
mage hand too.
True. True.
what it's
And they're
worth.
kind of weightless.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey.
Log, your rope snaps. Eleazar's rope snaps.
Okay.
Christiana,
made-
your
Right,
rope
right, and
snaps.
I made hand my rope, or whatever it's connected. what it
Michael,
was
your
connected
rope
to.
doesn't snap.
You're
You're still attached to. You're still. So it's just the two of you. Whoa! And then
Since
everybody else
You
just
feel this
snaps
arm
off.
around you
Since
and
I
then
saw-
realize this
It's
is
my
your
arm.
own. I'm now holding on to the stump and
Yeah.
the hand with him in between us.
The Blue Danube is playing in the background.
Do the blue Danube for me again.
Do, 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 do.
As we're spinning.
Da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da. Yes,
Dude, I
yes,
can
yes.
make a belt out of your arm.
Let's not.
So I'm sorry.
So I'm going to mage hand to the end that I'm not attached to whoever it is attached to,
Sure. The mage hand can do 10 pounds of force, correct?
which we are now weightless.
Right, but we're talking about the G forces as well because you're spinning.
But it will slow down.
Mage hand's vocal.
Mage hand is
hand's
vocal,
vocal.
fuckers! Yeah! She's the only one that can do it.
Oh,
Unless you want to and lose all your breath.
And the die.
I mean, I'm dumb. I'm not. Am I that dumb?
no. You have a 10 intelligence now, right?
Right,
So
I thought you had 11 now.
No, it's 10.
Yeah, don't give him too much credit.
Yeah.
Matt,
So no, yeah, I'm just.
I'll try to.
We've gotten a short rest. We haven't gotten.
I'll
No,
mage hand log as I start to fly towards. Eleazar and get him.
okay, you fly towards Eleazar.
With movement,
Larger
and then-
piece of mass that you're trying to stop moving in a certain direction. It's fine, whatever. You're weightless, but still, mass is still a thing. You still need force to do it. It's like definitely slows you down in order to do that. You're gonna lose for each person that you save. I'm gonna say you lose a whole turn of movement,
Okay,
which is a lot.
I know.
Go ahead. Who else? Because unless somebody else can do anything, Log, you're just
Well, I'm gonna.
Mage hand him while she went to Eleazar.
Well, I'm moving to get
So
Eleazar.
it's like
Again, G forces of being pulled apart that are far more than 10 pounds because the mass that he has is just the mage hand will snap. It's not strong enough.
Okay, since I was closer
If
to.
he was just in one space and not moving, yeah, then mage hand could grab him and move him. But he's not. He's already in motion.
Since I was closer to him, I'll grab him first, and then I'll go for Eleazar.
Okay, you got it. You taxi, you grab Log, and you push him into the mass that is Argus, which is moving quite fast now. So these people went in all different directions. Argus is moving very fast, faster than you can fly. So you're just having to like get up behind
get
him
him, yeah.
and like push Log because you can't catch up.
Yeah.
And Log will like just barely be gaining on you, and hopefully the way you pushed him. So go ahead, roll an attack roll for me. This needs to
What
be.
type of attack is this?
This is just going to be a straight D20 plus your proficiency.
Okay. I can see myself. 11.
11. You think it's right. Argus, you see Log kind of like barreling. Well, it doesn't make a noise because no, can't do that.
Oh. Can I take out Cole's
a little
tentacle and
skewed.
try to
The, the tentacle whip.
and try to
Sure,
grab,
roll an attack roll. Are you proficient in whips?
Absolutely not.
Is it a simple weapon or a martial weapon?
Pretty sure it's simple.
I have it right
I
here.
think it's a martial
Here.
actually.
Where are
I
you?
mean, it's something that a bard could use. So
There. It's
a
a
martial.
Martial. So you,
Are you is Clark proficient in martial weapons?
No.
No, really?
No,
Oh,
just
they only have a couple things, don't they?
Yeah.
Here we go.
We don't use weapons.
While you're
Yeah, just simple weapons. So you can't round your proficiency to this. So just a
While you're
dex
grabbing-
or strength check.
while you're grabbing the whip, I'll put your arm in the
8.
backpack.
8. So D20 plus your strength or
Yeah.
dex is just 8. So you whip out and you just and Log, you just see this thing go way over there.
I'm going to take
You're
Twig.
starting to now drift as to you.
I'm going to take Twig, and I'm just going to, mentally with him. You got like some propulsion in there, bud. He's a mechanical thing. He just might.
Yep. You see it kind of like transformer turn into looks like it was kind of like attached to your arm, kind of grab onto one of your butt cheeks and like flip around, and as you kind of look back, you see these two little kind of pillars that come out of this thing, and it goes out of fuel.
You tried.
poor little buddy.
Log, poor Log. What are you doing? Because
I'm-
Log is now. You're going to go get Eleazar, all right?
That's
Same
what I
thing.
said,
Roll
yeah.
another attack roll with Eleazar.
Well, but I can carry him because I was the only other person that lost. So,
yeah, you
yes.
can, but you can't catch up to Argus.
I know. Their attack. 16.
16.
It's just, it's just adding proficiency.
Yeah, that'll work. So Eleazar is now gaining on you, and you're realizing, oh shit, Eleazar has a lot of mass, and he's about to hit us. What do you do? As Log is just kind of like
Does the
veering off.
magical climbing rope have a vocal component, or do I will it with my mind?
I believe it has a command word, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Let me.
Anything else we got? I don't have much. I guess.
Log is continuing to drift farther and farther away. Trishani, do you try to move and catch him after you throw Eleazar?
You what? You lift up your.
I lift up my eye patch.
You gonna blast it? You gonna take some?
All it does is him
I
spin
mean,
around like
if I survive my con save, there's a chance.
And you gonna use red?
I mean, that's only when I know what it does. If I just keep drifting farther and further away.
Yeah, you have to speak the command word for the rope to animate.
Okay. I thought it was. I just was.
How much rope do I have tied from my waist to the? Oh wait, mine didn't break. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, it's 50 feet divided among, I guess, 5 or 6 people, so no more than 10 feet per segment. Probably less because
'Cause
you
it's
need
gotta
to
go
wrap
around
around.
you.
Yeah.
Could I try to lasso Log?
With what's tied to you?
No, I have a rope too.
Yeah.
Like my own separate
if you can
rope.
throw the rope fast enough. Are you trying to fly and pick him up and then lasso him?
I'm trying.
Tie.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah,
You're trying to tie stuff to him.
I'm trying to basically because I can't fully catch up to him unless I, right? Or can I?
I have a water skin,
You-
presumably full of water,
Okay.
that I can
to try to slow your momentum?
to propel myself in whatever direction I
Sure, yeah.
need to try to go.
Yeah, roll a luck check for me. Yeah, why not? That's fucking cool.
to do something other than just float before I resort to blowing myself with arcane.
Yeah, you're trying to throw mass away from you in order to stop momentum and stop spinning and stuff
So,
like
so
that.
just luck, straight luck check, 16.
16. Yeah, you do it pretty well. You like time it as you're spinning, and you're like, and then squeeze, and it does, and you kind of angle it as you squeeze, and you do rotate much slower now, and it does look like you've slowed, you know, a reasonable amount, enough that you are actually now moving away slower than Machini can. Fuck.
Yeah, twice.
Then Trisheni can fly, meaning that you can catch up to him now.
Okay.
You want to just go get him, or do you want to
Yeah,
lasso him?
I'm gonna go get him.
Okay, you're gonna go get him.
Yep.
Again, it's gonna slow you guys down. But right now, Argus is in the lead.
Handedly.
Eleazar's about to collide with you. What are you doing?
I gotta hold up my shield. That's all I can do.
Okay, go, dexterity save again. That's how it works.
Shield to shield.
Well, technically, I'm gonna say this is strength save. Yeah.
Shield to shield. And 2
Yeah.
feet grabs
You seem
on.
like.
And I get his bonus though, right?
Saving throw?
Yeah, because at the moment you collide, he's within 10 feet of you.
13.
13. I mean, that's good enough. Because also, what his shield does when it hits your shield is it grabs on. So you go cling, and you're about to do the whole Newton's cradle executive thing, ting ting ting, but it doesn't happen because it grabs on. So the momentum that he has just gets added to you, and you move even faster. There's no way you're catching up to them now with your fly speed. They are moving way too fast. So,
No.
but you have log.
Come in the bubble log. Let's both blast it now. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah,
Heads together. Here we go. Okay.
So it's really great because you've got like actual like pew 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 pew, and you're a little bit more directed. His is just going. So you're just like, whoa. It does add speed, but because you guys are moving so cattywampus, you're moving at about the same speed, like in that direction. It's wild. It does look like you're just going. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's
At
the
least we're
nature of
moving.
Yeah.
blasting.
Wait,
But
just
you guys are like,
interlock
yeah,
our
we're
arms.
doing it.
Interlock our arms. So get the more together. There you go. Okay. All right. Keep going. Yeah.
Because like, put yourselves like back to back and hold on
Yeah.
to each other as you like throw
Try to,
down.
yeah.
And every time log goes, it's just like a jolt and a jar in a very like random direction. It's still. The majority of the force does propel you forward, but you definitely like the rudder is just randomly askewed as far as what's happening.
It's still more
You're
progress
moving.
than
You're
than
still
I
not
would
going
have
to be
had.
able. At the moment, you're still not going to be able to catch up with him. Meckel, you are attached to Eleazar, Argus, and everybody together right now, except for those two. You realize how much faster you're going. You're going to be able to get to this planetoid. You're quickly realizing,
Stopping's gonna be fun.
how are we going to stop?
I don't care about that so much right now. I've already put the hand when he was grabbing out his whip. I put his arm into the backpack, and noticed that I still have the large flask I've already drank from and then sealed.
The is it metal?
I'm assuming it's glass. The potion, the large potion.
Oh yeah, the empty bottle.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
has the.
Yeah, it's
you know,
like it's more of like it's kind of like a container, it's almost like a big cookie jar, an empty
right.
cookie jar.
I'm gonna try to breathe whatever oxygen is remaining after I.
Okay, yeah, you could try that. You're gonna get one chance at this because as soon as you open it,
Oh yeah, exactly.
it gases off.
Right.
So you're gonna get one chance and one breath at this. I'm going to say this has got to be a sleight of hand check because this is something to be able to quickly try to get your hands in there.
I wish I wasn't so tired. Have I said that? Okay. Oh, no.
So you find it like it's struggle. You're like, and you're struggling to open it, and you're like, okay, come on. Damn. As it just kind of pops off, and you see the lid go. All the air escaped way too fast as you opened it too hard and too fast.
I just randomly throw the bottle off into space.
You just, out of spite and anger, you just like throw the bottle, hits the lamb.
Catches pieces of it.
Catches pieces of the lamb, closes back up. Somebody now is preserved.
Dinner and a drink.
Jesus Christ.
Out in space.
Okay. Argus realizes that they're going too far and too fast. You are getting closer. This is something that may happen soon. You're going to have to figure out how to slow down at this point. You are moving much faster than Trisheni is. Way faster. You're moving more than twice as fast as she has been able to move. Yes, what is it?
Eleazar reaches into his pouch and pulls out and breaks the tablet of fly so that he can now also fly and control this half of the
Eleazar
group.
is a spellcaster. He needs to roll a spellcasting check, which is 20 plus the proficiency plus the charisma modifier and to beat a DC of 13 in order to be able to cast the
Who
spell.
wants to roll it?
So it's +5 for him.
It's +5 total, so he needs to get a... I'm going to do this here. He needs to get a...
15.
No, he needs to get an 8 or higher
Oh, yeah, on the die.
on the die.
Yeah.
That's an 11.
Yeah.
So you see him like pull it out and break it, and then you feel even more forward momentum as Elia's like, he doesn't really know how to work it because he's never flied before. So he's moving you even faster into this. Eventually he figures it out.
Yeah.
But that's what happens at first, and then you realize that you have your own leverage in the moment. This whole mass has its own leverage. I don't think you guys know what's happening. I think you just see them move faster. Speaking of which, we're going to have... Ooh, let's see if that happens. That was cocked. Okay. Argus, passive perception, very, very high, 20, correct? You see, now that you're much closer to this double tetrahedron thing that looks a lot like the thing that's hangs in Thulmore bed, but it has some blue on it, begin to one of the tops of it that were like the tips of the pyramid, the tetrahedrons that usually would have like lava going through it if it was the Aetherveld macrolith, begin to kind of like glow red and spin. Just like the tiny little tetrahedron that's on top, if you were like to slice off the top, begins to spin and starts to glow red. And you see some like a pinpoint of light that starts to get very, very bright that's red as there's this this ray that splits into 5 different pieces and is like comes at you guys. So I need everybody to roll dexterity saving throws. If you're in the lump right now, one person roll for the lump plus the 2 from Eleazar.
Come on, Lon.
Technically, that would have to be Eleazar since he's the one piloting.
Flying, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're
My dex is
tethered.
horrible, so-
Yeah, both of you have your own forms of propulsion, so you can both roll your own. Yeah.
19 from Eleazar.
Nice.
This was a dex save.
Yes.
9.
9.
26.
God,
I'm disadvantaged.
I know.
I've
but
been disadvantaged for the last 3 sessions.
poor body.
You
What's
can
up?
sleep when you're dead.
26.
26. Log, you see this thing coming right at you, and you're like, you almost scream all the air out of your lungs before there's like a jolt of as you hit 2 firebolts and pull yourself out of the way. You can almost hear the sound of, you can just feel the pressure of it because there's no sound in space, but of this thing, you feel the immense heat like on your skin as this thing is no more than like 10 feet from you. A beam about like this wide, and it's like, and it moves around a second before it stops, and you see glowing red hot. The tip starts to slowly spin down. Some sort of defense protocol, automatic defense protocol. So Eleazar got
19.
19, is able to dodges, spins around, hits your mirror shield, pew pew, goes in the opposite way, hits the glass jar, shatters the glass jar, and you guys continue. Nobody took any damage.
Nice
that was
shot.
insane.
That was.
And I have to do this. Okay. So, both of you are now dealing with the fact that you looking at me like, both of you are now dealing with the fact that you need to start to slow down. You are not going to catch up. You're still a ways back, but you realize at some point you're going to have to slow down. But you just, now that it's just the two of you breathing this air, no matter how long it takes you there, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
For right now.
Okay.
You guys are starting to get into the, doesn't have an atmosphere, but like the stratosphere, if it had one, of this planetoid. You are, where you are right now, you're going to be landing decently far away from this thing. Is it your intention to ask Eleazar to move, or just like have yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah. So Eleazar will read that he will also be able to slow you guys down with fly. You should be able to land a light, no problem. For all intents and purposes, you should be able to do stuff. As you start to get closer and fly Eleazar, you have passive perception 20. I need you to roll a perception check for me.
Yeah, that. Oh.
What is it? 9.
9. Okay, you guys head towards the double tetrahedron. What are you guys doing? Other than, are you guys just riding it out?
Just trying to go as fast as possible.
Yeah. We know they're way ahead of us and just, trying to...
Yeah, I mean, unless you are trying to speed up or slow down everything, you just guys, there's just going to be a while until that happens, until you catch up. I need both of you then to roll, because you're moving a little slower, perception checks for me as you start to get closer. Are you aiming for the double tetrahedron?
Yeah, I would be going for probably the same shaft that went into before.
Eleazar has the troll belt. So
yes,
he
he's
has-
regenerating at the beginning
he's
of every
been
turn.
healing.
Yeah.
Just
What I'm gonna say is that until he can breathe again, we should probably suspend that. But
Okay.
I mean, but just because like you have to be.
Generating for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably at full health. I don't think he took a lot of damage anyway.
he did. At least from what I have down, he was down.
When
at-
does it say that it stops doing that?
he was at like 10 hit points?
I thought it only regenerated if you were above half. Wasn't it something like that?
Below half.
Lower.
Right, so he would at maximum be I think that's what it was. Yeah,
Yep.
because otherwise you would just always be at full health. You
Right.
wouldn't have to rest. That doesn't
Right.
make any sense.
It's something with half.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Let me know when you get a
And I think
chance.
suffocation does con damage.
What was your perception?
CX.
10.
10. You guys start to head towards the double tetrahedron, trying to catch up with your friends, knowing it's going to be a while. Where's Eleazar intending to try to?
How far away would you say that they are? I'm sorry.
I would say a couple thousand feet.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
Yeah. When it comes to space and you're moving that fast, you don't really lose momentum, so you just keep going.
Yeah.
You just keep accelerating or keep moving. You rode a solar wave, so and although those things look relatively like they're
no.
moving slow, they're moving like thousands of miles per hour. So what's up?
The belt's restorative magic activates when it senses danger. While
Space is
it
dangerous.
So
restores
it
while
only
in
works in
combat.
combat. Yeah.
Very much so.
So
Big
it
advancement of
doesn't-
space sounds
even
like
with the
danger.
The thing that was attacking us, is that technically going to be combat?
You mean me?
No.
No.
You guys have been in danger from the get-go today, so it's fine. I have no problem giving Eleazar, but it's still only up to half, right? I don't think it goes up to full.
No, it does. If you're in danger that long, then yeah, it would go up to full.
I'm going to make a judgment call right now that
That's fine.
Eleazar has half of his maximum health point,
Okay.
just for right now, just because I don't want to do the math and I don't want to deal with it. And I don't want to waste the time on it. So, moving forward. What did I say?
We see the double
Where are
tetrahedron.
we going?
Yeah.
We have no concept.
Are you just going to land near it or land on it?
I mean, that's Eleazar's call. If I get to call, I'd say near it, not on it.
I did
You
say
can
we
point
were
to
in
near
the
it.
spaceship before.
Right, but
So-
I don't know, like...
Yeah.
All I'm concerned about is I have them between me and the ship.
We can land.
Okay, cool.
We could land on the ship. That
All
way
right,
we
you
know
want to
we're
land
not-
on it? It's like off kilter. It's
But we
hard to
don't-
land on, but you can do it.
We don't
Yeah.
want to land where it exploded at us. Where it
You don't want to
tried
land on the
attack
tip.
us.
You want to land on one of the sides. That's fine. Fine. Totally fine. It's like if a double tetrahedron is 2d4s
We don't want to land on the exploded
like this,
tip.
No.
and it's a bit. Double tetrahedron is 2d4s, and it's. Ooh, we'll fix that just a tad. And it's a bit off kilter. You can probably land on one like this side up here. That make sense?
Yeah, unless Trishani yells at us to go anywhere else, which we probably can't hear.
I can't hear you and I can't message you. So
Cannot. You can. You can message.
Not from that far.
Oh, not from that distance.
Yeah.
Nah.
that's why I asked how far.
Yeah, the vastness of space, my dudes. Yeah, you can land on one of the sides. You alight upon it. The three of you. You kind of like, whoa. You do feel gravity, but not a whole lot.
Can we still see them?
Roll perception check.
15.
Do you have blasting?
You see what looks to be maybe a spark or a small speck of light that's kind of sputtering in and out off in the distance. That's what you see.
But can we breathe yet?
No. You guys have had minutes, so you're okay still. There is, I would say, at the very least, each one of you would have at least 1 minute left. At the very, very least. Even with that, I can't. That's not how long it's going to take her to get there. You can continue to get close as you're looking. You said you got a 15, though, right? You do see something sparkling, and then you see that sputtering, that light, and then you see something else, also doing kind of the same thing, but kind of glinting. A little bit further off to this way.
Interesting. Do I shine my shield light at people, or would that hurt way too much? Kind of glinting. Like how it looks completely different, or what is it?
It doesn't look like a uniform pattern. Like it's not like. Whereas the other one is kind of like. Because that's how their spells work. This one is more like. Ding 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 ding. Almost as like light is glinting off of something metal that's turning in space.
All right. Can I beam some rays and see if I can see it better?
In order to see it better, it's not the light that's probably it's
Okay.
the distance from the item,
Okay.
or whatever it may be. You would have to go up and check it out.
Well, I can't move.
You want to ask Eliezer to go up and help?
I mean, I'll point it out to him. See if
And
he
he goes
wants
like-
to go fly up there. Sure.
Grabs you.
No! That's gonna ask all of us to go.
It's just gonna grab you and then start going because that's what you told him to do. And you can't talk to each other and start going there. And then Mecca, you're like, oh, thankfully, whoa!
No, I was playing along. I just
yeah?
they weren't paying.
They won't take- But Eliezer doesn't grab you, so you just get yanked up there. You start to get closer to this thing. Trisheni, you see them move up because of the only thing down there. You have a backdrop of like this planetoid and this thing, so it's much easier to see what's happening there than just a black space backdrop. You start to get closer to this thing. You
We'll go towards
you're
them.
kind of. Do you go towards them or towards the planet?
Go towards them so that I'm close enough to send a message of where the vent or the way
Okay,
in
you are
is.
now. You kind of like start to meet. This thing is closer to the planet than you are, so you eventually do meet this thing. You reach this thing before they do. You see this is a body that's floating and turning in space. You start to get close enough within message range. This is a body as it slowly begins to turn. The glint of what you've been seeing is the light of the star glinting off what looks like tools and an apron. And you start to see, as it finally turns, the face of Zemdak. Not breathing, mouth agape, eyes open, not moving. Shards of glass surrounding him.
All right, I'm going to grab him, and we're going to go down as much as I can.
What message do you send to them before you get there?
Go down and find the vents. It's down this way. Like, I try to give a little bit more direction.
And they turn around and they move down and
As-
grab whatever that was. You don't know what it was, and they move down there.
As he's now got Zemdek, I'm going to go through his bag and get one of the potions that he got from Doctor and
Okay,
give
you
it to Zemdek. Yeah.
You're going to try to give it to Zemdak?
Yeah, I'll give him the biggest potion that's in there.
Are you going to do this mid-flight, or are you going to wait till you land?
No, I'm going to do it as he's grabbing Zemdek and whatnot.
Okay, you take which one? Big one?
The biggest one that they have.
Biggest one
as
you
long
can.
as
You
it's
got to
not
grab
like
it
a
with two
jug of
hands.
water.
You
It's
pull it
that
off.
huge one.
Yeah, then the huge one.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. The huge one, and it's like half the size of Zemdak.
Yep, and I remember to take off the cork.
Yeah, sure. And you put it in there, and like there's no gravity to really pull it down there, so you're like trying to get it somehow to go in him. There's no like responsiveness as far as like there's no swallow, there's no instinct or anything. It's just an open mouth and eyes agape.
Okay,
And-
so I will take the potion away from him, take a mouthful, and basically lock my lips to his.
and use
Spit it.
Yeah.
suction and force and negative pressure to push it into.
Yep.
Negative positive pressure to do so.
And you
Sure.
would still have the bubble on, so you could breathe in there if you needed to.
Oh yeah, you can use my bubble.
Yeah. He has air
He
around.
still has a bubble on. Yeah.
He has air
Then
around.
I do the one mouthful, take a breath,
Yeah.
and then take another mouthful until that whole thing is
Sure. Yeah.
Baby burden you.
Yeah.
You baby bird him as you
This
begin
makes
to
me
alight
your
down
mom.
there. Trisheni, you and Log catch up to them. You see Meckel and Argus and Eleazar kind of like huddled around and beside, blocking your just kind of looking down at something as they're all kind of askew, like on a bit of a 30-degree angle ground on top of this thing, on this vessel, this structure, this ship. And you see Meckel just leaning over something that's like putting its head in, like drinking a water bottle.
What did you find?
Oh, can I talk yet?
Nope.
Nope.
Just keep.
I mean, Log could. With his telepathy. Or
What the fuck's he doing to Zemdak?
He's dead.
Come on, baby bird.
Then why is he doing that?
We need to get inside. And give me your freaking powder.
You continue
Okay.
to push this
Oh yeah,
into him.
because I don't know if he's dead or not dead. And I'm not taking the time to find out. Plus, his bubble is
Glazed
still
over
active.
eyes, mouth still agape, no response.
Don't care. Continuing
You
until
continue, yeah.
Yep.
Okay?
If
All
nothing
right.
else, he'll serve as a pouch.
Yeah, he'll drown when he wakes up. You got it.
Yep.
Trisheni just goes in complete just focus mode of trying to find.
The vent.
The vent, one of the places that you were trying to go into.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to. You still have fly on, so you are going to try to move over to the other side, and you move as quick as you possibly can. You do see the opening of the vent. It is no longer off-gassing air. Whatever that may mean.
Okay.
While those stand around figuring stuff out, I embrace Zemdek as close as I possibly can. Not to keep him warm or anything, but just because I like to breathe.
Cheek to cheek.
How do we get in there?
I can hum. I do hum to him because I can breathe. and it makes me happy.
We squeezed through this way before and then just went up and found our way in. I can talk to the ship. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, go. As soon as we get close to the ship, I start asking in Celestial, is there medic chambers or something like that, some sort of revivification pod?
You start to fly through that girder pierce in the hull of this thing, this hole, perforation that's large enough for Eleazar grabs you and Zemdak and snags Log by the scruff, and you grab Argus and you just push through this thing until you finally find where you were doing the. You don't sense atmosphere here. You don't sense gravity here. The lights are spinning yellow and red inside of here. You speak Celestial.
Yeah, persevere, foster, thrive. Please.
Fatal error. It's self-preservation. Seed mode. Seed 440.
Now, can the rest of it? Oh, sorry.
You guys don't hear what she understands. She understands the Celestial. You just go.
We went into preservation mode. Maybe the chambers. Maybe we can put him in there at least for a bit. I don't know.
I make sure his mouth is closed, so nothing leaks out.
Okay, close his mouth.
Can I tell how long he's been gone?
Roll a medicine check.
I haven't done that.
7. Rolled a 2.
You've never experienced somebody exposed to the vacuum of space before. This is really hard to tell.
Yeah, there's still no atmosphere.
Do you
said.
say any? Well, you can't
I
say
can't
No
anything.
say
atmosphere.
Yeah.
No atmosphere. At least here. No artificial gravity.
You gotta give me somewhere I can breathe.
Yeah. Any sector open or still have atmosphere? In Celestial.
Crew cord is a 40. Life support minimal.
Gotta go to the crew quarters. Direct us.
A bunch of the spinning lights kind of dim as there's very small lights that go up, like those little yellow caution lights. Much less light here that do lead you off into an area. There, it is a little confusing because sometimes when it comes to intersections and turns and whatnot, you're not sure which are caution lights that are directing you where you go and which are emergency general quarters, type of red alert, yellow alert type of things going on. So I'll need you to roll a survival check for me.
Can I have Twag assist?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah. 27.
27. You are of a single mind right now. You need to do this one thing. Everything else has fallen to the top. You're not even thinking about the fact that none of your friends can breathe right now. Except for every once in a while, they're like, hold on, and they stop you. I don't think they are able to stop you. I think they are whoever's, they're using Zemdax because you're not letting anybody get anywhere fucking near you. You are moving, and you're moving as fast as you possibly can.
I'm trying to tether them as quickly as
None
I
of you are able to
possibly
actually keep up with Trisheni because of how fast she is moving. She is running as fast as she possibly can. There are moments where you forget that you don't have Zemdak in your arms, and then you stop, and then you turn around, and you scream. What do you scream at them?
Do something! Something, anything! Come on!
And
Take a
then she
little bit
turns
of
around.
breath. Take some of the air in his helmet and do something. Please. Check him.
I'm assuming I don't have any of any bardic spells or anything.
You have your spells that you chose.
Oh, even though, if that's the case, then I will get in really close. I mean, the potion didn't seem to do anything, but just for the heck of it, I'll give him a healing word and see if it has any effect.
Is there a vocal component to healing words?
But I'm in a bubble.
He can.
Oh,
lean
you're
into
gonna
the
go up
bubble.
cheek
Oh
to
yeah,
cheek?
yeah. I've been there the entire time.
What do
I
you
will-
say to Zemdak
I
cheek
was
to
like,
cheek?
Come on, little birdie.
Come on, little bird.
Yeah, I will kind of like hum that song that my mother had and try to comfort him from like this far
Oh, yeah.
away and see if anything happens. Yeah, not knowing.
Okay.
You do so. You feel the magic go through.
But
no
nothing.
response.
I put my shield out so I have one arm, and I hold it out to Log, and I get close to Zemdak so I can talk, and I can be like, "Give me the red."
Yeah, give him the red.
I'm going to take the arcane. No, first I'm going to pull out Zemdak's crystal.
Are you stopping to do this?
She's yelling at me. I
Yeah.
have nothing
Yeah,
else
I'm just
to
I
saying,
would have. I
you-
would have stopped and been like just.
I'm wondering if you would, or if you would turn on your heels and move as fast as you possibly could. That's up to you.
I'm not leaving anybody behind again.
Okay. Fuck.
I wanted to do this in air. But that crystal that we made out of your face, that's straight Terzine though, right? I can't touch that?
Correct.
It's blue,
Yeah, it's blue terrazine.
organic.
It's in a jar though, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna reach into your bag and pull out the jar. And I'm gonna stick it on your chest. And I'm going to inhale some red freaking arcane.
The
and take
jar,
out my
not the
hammer.
thing, right?
Well,
Yeah.
the thing in
It's
the
still
jar.
in the jar. Okay.
And I'm
okay.
going to take out my hammer and I'm going to
You put the thing on like, oh, well, then now he's gone.
I have to try to take the arcane so I have enough spell power so I can cast Revivify on him through my hammer, using his crystal from his face to imbue him to give me enough power to cast Revivify on him.
I will try to
You don't know
assist.
how long he's been gone.
Correct.
I will assist as best I can to be his other arm. So like I can open the jar for you.
Like hold him in place.
Matt, this is a sad moment. What are you doing?
I
Hey,
don't.
do you need a
have-
hand as he
No,
holds
no,
out
not
Argus's
with
arm?
his hand.
I
He
know, I'm
only
just
has
messing.
one hand, so I'm trying to.
I'm using
You're funny.
all the power inside me to try to get this out of here.
Yeah.
But I hope that getting the arcane will give me enough boost to do whatever needs to be done.
I assist by opening up the jar.
Meckle. Log. What's your passive perceptions?
10.
Poor buddy. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm beating on Cody.
I'm trying. 15.
15.
It's 106 if I'm helping Argus.
You hear something.
I hear something.
You hear something.
Do I hear it?
You
like-
hear it not through the air,
Okay.
but through the vibration of the floor, because sound can travel through any medium. Because it travels through the floor into your bones, and then vibrates your ear bone or whatever it's called, the occipital bone. What is it called? I don't know what it's called.
You
know,
have
The little
several.
bone.
the little eardrum bone.
Yeah.
Little eardrum
Stabies.
bone. So you hear it because you can feel it as you're stepping on this thing. There's no artificial gravity, but there's still the gravity of the planetoid itself, which still allows you to be kind of like moon gravity. You know, you still have something. It's hard to move fast here, but so you're just kind of like, and kind of pulling yourself more than you are running, but you're still standing on this thing.
Right.
Again, SQ. You feel the sound of something strong, heavy, getting closer.
I will pull Argus into the bubble next to me so that we're basically smooching a corpse together.
So Zemdak's face,
You do
Argus
realize
Meckle.
that you and I both can read lips, and you know that.
Yes, but in this situation, I'm exhausted and frustrated, and I've been kissing a dead guy for like the last 10 minutes.
Not 10
so
minutes. This has not been that long.
No, it's not been
it
at all.
felt like 10 minutes.
It's not even been a minute.
And
No.
basically say something big is making its way towards us. I can feel it through the floor.
We don't have time.
Okay.
And I inhale the arcane.
I step out of the
You
bubble.
snort it, or you eat it, or you just it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well,
You gotta like put it in Zemdak's
You
face.
do what
to-
you've seen Log do.
Yeah.
Well, Long always snorts it.
What do you do?
I'll inhale it.
Okay. So you have to get close to his
Yeah.
index face to
Yeah.
have the air to do it.
I
so
give
you
him
do so.
room.
You give him room. Go ahead and roll a con save for him. All of it?
Yeah.
Eliezer's near you.
Is that 2 doses or 1 dose?
It's just, the red is just everything's just 1 dose.
Okay.
Damn.
21.
Okay.
Sorry, 22. Helps if I do math.
There's a moment where your vision, you're like, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Light.
It didn't work.
Do you get a bonus?
Wait, it didn't work. Wait, now it happens.
if I
And then your
now
vision
it is,
begins
it's
to
not
shake
yours.
and quiver and like quake. And you feel yourself, it almost feels as if your skin is sloughing off of your body as you enter a fire frenzy.
And I'm going to take my hammer and I'm going to break his thing over him and try to cast Revivify or anything stronger I can.
What do you have access to?
Nothing.
No.
He does have a belly full of potion.
I do have access to all the power that is within inside.
You do. So I'm going to roll something over here. I'm going to do my best to keep track, but as is the ambiguous nature of a TTRPG game, time can be fluid.
TPK?
Not yet.
Okay.
Roll something over here
Yeah.
to help me determine how long he's been dead. Okay. You take your hammer, alight it with magical flame, strike the jar. Are you trying to break the blue terrazine as well? Over his
To
body?
use the power of it inside me to amplify my magic.
I understand you're trying to consume it.
Yep, I'm trying to consume it to amplify, to do more if I have to based on how much time has been gone because I have no clue.
And you
Trying to amplify my Revivify spell.
and
Got
you
it.
are fire right
And
now.
I am fire. I snorted red arcane.
Sony's been wanting this entire time.
Damn, I did all of these things. Please help. Please help.
I will see this also, and it invokes sort of this like something I can tell my grandkids about the great Argus's, and I will lean into
His
the
first miracle.
lean into the oxygen just long enough to cast heroism on him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you could absolutely do this. So here's the deal. You're the one leading this. I'm going to do some things. Your offering is heroism as witnessing the first miracle. You are at the station of Mecca witnessing the first miracle. Apparently your Mecca's on the moon, I guess. So
It's wherever Argus is. That's,
it's a mobile Mecca. Perfect. Who else is doing something?
I'll step down, tear out threads from Lammy, and start sewing any of the bits that are, like, anything that would need sutures. Using
There
my
are quite a
sister's.
few pieces of glass that have embedded themselves in the side of his face and his shoulder, and even gone through some of the leather of his apron. So you begin to pull those out. You see those gashes that aren't bleeding, and you begin to try to sew them up with Lammy's thread.
Yeah. And I
Fuck,
just
honey.
don't go. I can fix this. Come on.
Trishendi is not waiting for either of you to finish doing that. She starts that right away, and she
Plus
will
she
not
has
get
the-
out of the way while you hit it. She doesn't
Also
care.
has the extra knowledge from her sister right now on
That's-
how to.
Yeah.
Put me back together.
Yep.
So here's the deal. First thing, Meckel, I want you to roll a religion check as you give your faith to the self-proclaimed apostate.
You have to do disadvantage.
yeah, it has to be with this. Yeah, I know. 8.
8. Okay.
I don't understand what I'm seeing, but it's good.
Argus, I also want you to roll a religion check.
Not my fun fortune check.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
You get to add stuff for the use of this terrazine.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. This religion check has to do with the faith in yourself, trying to channel it through this this catalyst. One thing you really need to know about this catalyst is that if this goes wrong, if your check in particular goes wrong, it could mean very badly, not just for him, but for you, because you're the one, and for Sheni, because she's touching him at the same time too. This could go very, very, very badly. You're gonna add a 3 to whatever it is you get,
That was the wildest.
Plus my religion, though, right?
I'm
plus your
glad you
religion,
don't need
plus
me at
3.
all.
25.
25. To prevent you, in order for you to not have something absolutely catastrophically wrong, you had to get a 20 or higher. So that is insane. Sheni,
Yeah.
I want you to roll a medicine check with if your sister has proficiency in medicine, you can use that. You can also get to add your own bonus to medicine on top of that as well.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I killed your cord.
Okay. That is a
Shuffling of the character sheets over there is making me so nervous.
I'm gonna try and get them just a little higher. No. 22.
22. Mecca, while that is happening, you hear. It's not dangerously close, but it is getting closer. This sound, everyone else is too focused on what's happening right now. Log, your passive perception is shit. Sorry.
Argus. Was it the hands? Or was it the core?
The core.
The core. Okay.
Okay. I understand.
From the
of the
bloom
From
that
the
we found in
piece
the
that I
desert.
made out of his face.
Right. Yeah.
So it was still connected to me in our relationship.
So I'm gonna roll. This is the first time that this has ever happened. So for what it is that's happening here, there are 3 different possible outcomes here. Actually, technically, there are 4 different possible outcomes. The best possible. Well, we don't know.
We don't know what's best.
We'll
One of
figure
the
it
possible
out.
outcomes
Yeah.
is for this to work as you have wanted it to work, and as a tend in order to bring Zemdak back. Another way is there is a possibility that the Terrazine encapsulates Zemdak and it leaves him in a state of suspended animation, similar to Mrs. Freeze from DC or Caliban.
Tortesi.
Or I'm sorry, Tortesi.
Yeah.
Or Tortesi, similar to as that. One of the other options is that the Terrazine shards go a bit astray. Both Trisheni and Argus are caught in it as well, and dexterity saves will have to be rolled, and we'll see what happens. And the other option is that will happen, as well as not just have his body encased, but it fully become crystal, and that's it. There's no bringing it back. To the point where nothing short of true resurrection, nothing that would require his body to be intact would work. It would have to be something that would only need maybe either a piece of him or whatever to bring it back. True resurrection, something like that. Okay? So there are 4 different possible ways how this is going to work. All this is on a scale that I can't tell you of what I roll on this D20 that has been determined by how well you guys did on what it is that you did. Sorry. So we're going to roll it right here. Unless somebody else wants to roll this.
Now,
The only other person I'd want to roll it would be Adam.
And
Yeah.
I don't want to try and make my way all the way over there.
it's up to you,
Yeah.
Okay.
DM of
What
Death.
were you saying? What was your question?
Oh, I just wanted to make sure that we considered his potion, but I guess it only works if he wakes up and then his stomach digests the potion.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
He needs to be
Is that
alive
weight?
for it to
Yep.
work. Ooh, there we go. Adam's going to have me use his D20 that's made of actual human bone.
Human bone?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it your bone?
Yeah, see, I'm missing a piece right here.
I don't know. Maybe.
People do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this.
Take the responsibility.
Yeah.
DM.
You're the team leader. I love how the music has changed.
That's a 9. You shatter the jar. The terazine shatters, crushes, doesn't spit up, doesn't go into shards. There's nothing for you to dodge. Pulverizes into a dust as the flame kind of incinerates any shards that would have headed your way, as you are well aware that one of the most, not unlike what a Forge Master is creating, the Forge Master themselves has to be tempered. And the hammer knows this, as you have put the intent into the hammer, and the hammer knows that it needs to give you a leather apron, some sort of protection, so it does. And it does that for everybody else there. You complete the sutures, but then start again because you said, no, they're not enough. You need to keep going. It's not until the concussive force of the exploding piece of blue terazine causes you to be forced backward a bit, and some of the thread begins to snap from the needle that you are doing, as you seem what, like, just for just a millisecond out of phase with your sister, as you kind of see like the gestalt superimposed image of, like, faded image of her upon, like, your snout upon her snout, just kind of a bit kind of like looking at a 3D movie in the blue and the red for a moment, for a split second. Argus, you're the only one that maintains your footing in this time. Emeka, you are also kind of pushed back a bit, where you have to hold on to yourself and stabilize yourself with your hands against the wall, and that even lets you feel the now impending heavy sound. More
Okay.
so.
I'm still tied to my savior over here, but
Yeah.
I do ready an action to whatever this thing is when it appears. If it's threatening, I'll cast Shatter at it.
You got it. You ready that action, noted. Argus, you stand
As
there
long as
and
I'm
you watch,
near.
and for a moment, the pulverized pieces of the terracine do nothing. The glass, parts of the new glass embed themselves in him, and the terracine does nothing. And there's a long moment. The fire on your hammer extinguishes as doubt enters your mind. Then fear.
I ain't paying wisdom.
You're welcome.
Then grief. Then guilt. You look at Trisheni, and you see her almost completely dissociated. And you feel like you've betrayed someone. You feel like a traitor. And as you loosen your grip on your hammer, losing your composure and almost unable to hold on to what has been something that has guided you for the longest time, the hammer doesn't move. You release your grip from it, but the hammer does not move from where it is. And you start to hear as the blue terrazine begins to grow onto the hammer and onto Zemdak himself. Quickly now, fast. It was at first gradual and creeping, and now it begins to stack upon itself, and you see and jutting movements of different faces of facets of crystal begin to move throughout him, encapsulating your hammer in such. Do you hold on to your hammer?
Yeah.
With your one remaining hand?
It's blue terrazine, so it should only be organic. It goes after.
Can I light and be fire while I'm holding this hammer?
You are fire, but
So-
you are technically fire right now, but you look more like a smoldering ember that has kind of lost its wherewithal than you do a raging bonfire, like you usually do. You look more like a coal that is dying in the ashes of a fire.
I can't lose doubt in my sword. Like, I can. Okay.
In this moment,
I will let go of the hammer because the power's inside me, not in this hammer.
you let go of the hammer. The crystal jumps to the wood part and doesn't grab too much onto the metal part, but grabs onto the wood and continues to bring it into it. There is a small piece of the hammer that seems to remain outside, just a small, tiny piece of the handle that seems to remain outside of the crystal here as it begins to envelop entirely Zemdak, forming into almost reminiscent of the pods that Zemdak has seen here, and you have seen here as his eyes still open, his mouth only slightly. One of the things that does make sense to you is, actually, roll a medicine check for me at advantage. I'm sorry. Trisheni, please roll a medicine check for me at advantage.
24.
24. This shouldn't happen if this was dead flesh. You understand how all this organic stuff works. It means there's more to it than that. You don't understand all the rules of this. Not everything makes sense, but organic means organic. The wood technically is organic, and so is dead carbon and all this other stuff. You choose to believe the reason why it spread so fast is because he wasn't dead long enough for this not to work. That's what you choose to believe. It completely encapsulates him in this crystal. There is a small piece of the handle that is able to be grabbed that sticks out of this crystal.
Does it stay blue?
It does. It was a very large, concentrated piece.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, it does stay blue. You might see that it might have been just a little more clear than before, but not enough to be anywhere near spent. They are laying there on the ground.
I realized now that I can't cast Shatter because I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Zemdak, for taking that away.
Oops.
Thanks, Zemdak, for taking that away.
I mean, the bubble's still there if you want to lean in close.
No,
enough.
I'm good.
The lighting
crystal
crystal around you
Right.
starts to
Yeah.
get darker as it appears to go into some sort of red alert type of status. Some red and blue lights are the only ones that shine now as you start to hear more of the coming from the corridor, now moving around. You see it couldn't be more than 50 feet away at this moment. It's probably around the corner. The bubble that was around Zemdak is no longer there. The only bubble that we have is now on Trisheni. What are you guys doing?
Well, I'm going over to Shani. I mean, that seems to be the most
Okay.
fundamental thing is to breathe.
Trisheni just kind of on the ground there, still.
Just
It's up to you.
stunned, but
I mean, assuming at this point they all feel the.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Were we able to grab
Even
this
log.
yeah,
bag before we got
Um,
encapsulated?
yeah, we should have. Yeah,
I
Um,
will. Oh, sorry.
I feel
That's a
it.
good question. Why doesn't somebody who feels the luckiest today roll a luck check for me?
Nobody's
Well,
lucky
that's
today.
obvious Zemdak. I mean, that's just.
Nobody's lucky.
Yeah, you know what, Adam,
No.
you roll it.
I wasn't doing much else during the whole ritual.
You would have gone
He-
in and stole it.
He
Yeah.
had taken
I mean,
my
not
box off
stolen.
me before.
I
Like,
wouldn't
he was
steal it.
It's
cognizant
not
of
stealing if he's dead.
Sure.
Yeah.
getting the stuff.
That's fine. That's a valid argument. Sure, you could have absolutely taken the bag, but that's fine.
Okay.
However, all the mimics and stuff that were on you.
Oh, yeah,
There
they're
wasn't any
fucked.
left.
Yeah.
No, I had the pauldron
The pauldron
suffocated.
was
Yeah.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, he ate
There,
the other
there
one.
wasn't any left.
No, there wasn't. All my buddies are dead.
All my friends are dead.
While I go over to Trishani and she's down on the ground or whatever, I'm gonna stop concentrating on my god over here because he can handle himself, and basically lean in and say, "You're good enough. You're smart enough. We got something coming this way. Protect me." And I'll cast heroism on her.
No, 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 no,
Nothing
no.
drops it for me.
Don't. No, don't. I know this. Do this. Don't.
All right, then I guess I will stop mid-sentence and take a big, deep breath and then get out of the bubble. So you still have heroism on you.
Don't want heroism on me.
She
Not
wants to
today.
be afraid.
Go up into the Sky Lounge. Cast it.
You cast Sky Lounge.
Is there air up there?
No,
Yeah.
but, well, if they're.
Technically, it's another dimension.
Technically, there is.
Yeah.
Because it's whatever she wants it to be.
Yeah. So
It's
we have
kind
an
of
hour
like
of air up there.
the dome. It can have air and whatever. So, yeah, technically there would be. I would allow that. Yeah.
No, you're
You cast the Sky Lounge.
Yeah.
How long does it take to
Pull you
cast the
up.
Sky
I
Lounge in
didn't
action?
realize that,
Action.
what that was.
Sky Lounge is like a rope trick.
Okay.
Not high off the
You
ground.
take your rope and you whip it and about 10 feet up the ground, something like that.
Yeah.
I need help. I only have one arm.
I will be your second arm,
I'll fix
and I
you
will
up there.
hook him up.
Who's going up last?
Me.
Whoa.
I'll go up last.
No. You're holding the spell. You're not going to play.
I'll stay even if I die.
Probably
Move
LEDs
your
are.
mic closer to you.
Oh yeah, that's probably.
That's what happens when you move people.
Eleazar.
Yeah, I think LEDs
Yeah.
are
Eleazar
probably.
would go last.
Yeah.
Eleazar would go up last. Meckel, I guess you are second to last. You guys are second
Yeah,
to
I'm
last. then?
assisting him as
Okay.
best I can.
So Meckel, you and Eleazar go up last. Ish.
Okay.
Both of you see something that you've never seen before as it comes around the side of the corner. The rest of you are mostly up. Eleazar's on the rope, or you're on the rope. Eleazar's about to grab onto the rope. This massive construct. It doesn't look like it has bulky pieces of metal, but more twisted and woven pieces of other kind of fibrous organic metal that have holes in it, like you could see through it, almost like helix style throughout. It's mostly hollow, but the and structural integrity of it, the way it is built, makes it extremely sturdy. It looks like it has a pivoting waist, large legs, again, mostly hollow except for this kind of double helix style of metal. Super alien looking, large body that goes up and then becomes wide at the torso pectoral moment. Large arms that appear to have some sort of spire attached to each one of them. As you climb up, or do you wait and see what happens here?
Hell no.
Okay, you're like, nope, nope, nope. And you go up, and Eleazar watches as this happens. Eleazar will explain this to you as it takes the spire, and the spire kind of melts, and it forms into, like, you know, Full Metal Alchemist style, whatever the fuck it wants, as it turns into some type of plasma cannon or some sort of spiraling thing. As it changes, the metal appears to melt into some type of resin, inky-like material, like black ichor type material before it finally solidifies itself. It aims at you, mostly hollow. You see the red alert happening on it. It has a beam on you as far as what it can see. Eleazar climbs up the fastest he possibly can. All of you see from the... Is anybody grabbing Zemdak?
I'm concentrating on Argus.
I don't have hands.
You have one.
I would try.
Tying a rope?
I would
You
try.
That's why I'm
lift
helping.
him.
I would have helped.
I mean,
Eleazar.
I'm blue terrazine.
But you're like,
So small.
Outside.
No, but I mean, like, how are you gonna? Never mind.
How are you gonna?
Eleazar
grab the-
jumps down, grabs the hammer of Zemdak,
Grabs the hammer.
grabs the hammer handle that's still sticking out of it, tosses it up into the thing as this plasma wave engulfs him. You just see his look at you. And then you don't see Eleazar anymore.
You could have cast this thing the entire time.
we need to be in a safe spot.
Michael, not now.
Standing now below, you can see this thing looks up, puts its spire there. The rope is still dangling down.
I
Pull it up.
no, pull up the rope.
You pull up the rope, you see things try to grab onto the area. The magic is fighting it, but you've never seen something like this break the rules of magic like it's trying to do right now. As you pull up the rope, the power of the magic is too much for it, but it was able to grab onto the edges of the perimeter of this thing before it's forced away. You are up in the Sky Lounge. You can see this thing patrolling, moving. It takes a moment before it continues moving on.
I mean, just to be clear, I'm a giant blue terrazine crystal.
You're encased in a giant blue terrace.
I mean,
Kind
giant,
of like
gnome
if
sized.
Snow White, kind of
terrazine
like
crystal.
Sleeping Beauty style.
Right,
Kind of.
And I already
But
tried
it's-
kissing you.
Still blue
But
terrazine.
we can't touch it. Right.
You guys moved out of the way as Eleazar grabbed the handle and tossed it up.
Put them in the
Did
box.
that black ichor from the
Can it fit?
mechanoid thing look familiar to me?
Oh, the box.
Clothing box, yeah.
Yes.
Is there enough room in here?
No roll required. Yes.
No, but when we get them out.
And it's a little disturbing.
For what?
The black ichor that, well, Eleazar didn't get to describe it to you guys. Oh, wait, but you
I
did
can
see
see
it
it.
change again and tried to shoot you guys. Yeah. You guys are in the Sky Lounge for the moment. You can all breathe. Zemdak, eyes open, mouth only slightly open and agape. Still some glass shards embedded in his leather apron. The hammer sitting askew upon his sternum as the handle sticks out enough for someone to grab onto without touching the crystal, sits again askew in the corner or off to the side. Elias is not here.
Two for one special, guys.
I mean, 3.
Right.
Let me at least fix your arm. It's the least I can do after dragging you all out here.
Gives us something to do while we think.
Yeah.
How are we getting back?
I don't think it'll take me too long to do this. I can maybe get that little magic back, but
I sullenly set the backpack down next to you and go find a corner to soak in since you yelled at me.
Not now, Meckel.
Oh.
I need to feel this. It wasn't you. Even though it technically was you.
It's your fault, but it's not your fault.
What if we're counting?
Sewing
It's your
your
fault.
It technically was you.
Technically, who? Michael?
well, the scream started it all. But it's fine. No, but I'm going to start.
You guys
just
have an hour here of breath, somewhat, at least environmental comfort.
Can I take a long rest?
Not in an hour.
Yeah.
That's how long this lasts. Nope. You guys can take a short rest if you like, unless you're doing some other form of activity. Drasheni, if you are trying to repair Argus's arm, you won't have time to take a short rest.
Oh,
I can-
so I have the Song of
I
Rest.
don't know who all is resting.
So if anybody's taking,
I'm gonna rest because
yeah, then I will play my flute low.
Do you play your flute or do you hum?
I play the flute, but at that melody,
Got it.
just really, really low.
what does song rest do again?
Plus d6, 1d8. Sorry, 1d6 to your hit dice.
I don't get to reroll ones on this, do I?
I
I don't
let
have
ya.
a fire with my thing out. If we had a fire, I could use my charm.
For the purposes of my magic,
Yeah,
am I still alive?
does his...
You are in a state of suspended animation. You are dead, like Tortesi is dead,
Yeah, but I'm.
but under the effects of from
Preserved.
what you have figured out.
Is Granny
But
lonely
do-
about to be upset
do
because one of
your-
her knickknacks? Is
because of your medicine check, in a state of gentle repose because of this you are dead, but your body has been suspended to a point where it stopped the clock.
Okay.
Make sense?
We're just asking more, will his magic disappear?
Yeah.
I understand.
Just-
You are dead, meaning that your transfusions
Yeah.
last for a number
5
of days,
days.
5 days.
I just. At some point, you might notice the arcane imbuement of my objects starts to.
like the bag of
reach
holding
out.
is gonna you guys are well
starts
aware
to
of this. Zemdek
Yeah.
would have told you this.
Argus
He's like, hey, if I ever die,
armor as well. I don't know if you're still wearing that half plate that I infused for you.
I
I gave
thought we
you a
dropped
+1
that one.
half plate.
You don't have a bag of holding, right?
Zemdek
yeah.
had the bag of holding.
It
That's where all
started-
your
yeah,
stuff
okay.
It
is.
slowly starts to like.
We did the... Yeah, we tears...
Does that mean
Yeah, we made the tears.
It also means that if
Your
it
brain broke?
loses
No,
magic
no,
while
no,
there's
no.
stuff in it,
Just
all
the
that
bag.
stuff just gets shoved into the astral plane.
So we
I
have
thought it
to.
all just dumped out.
I don't.
It has to be destroyed for it to shunt into the astral plane. Like pierced, torn,
I thought it
ruptured,
turns into a
destroyed.
normal bag, and then everything...
Regardless, it's probably a good idea to empty that thing.
Yeah.
If you think 5 days are gonna pass.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah. I think we would have.
What do we do with Tortesi?
Hey, we got a box.
Yeah, it's just my pistol and the bag. If we're not still using your armor, it was
Well,
just those two
I
things.
forgot about it, so... I
Yeah, no, you're fine.
been using the bonus.
That's fine. That actually is better. We lose less things.
Yeah.
But you gain a friend.
Yeah.
I can.
Am I-
What do you need to do to sew up my arm? Do you have to roll for that?
Yeah, I'd have to roll for that. I can either sew up. Well, I'll be for us to get back to the. Well, I'll have to tear out the actual fly from my main spell book. I have it prepared today, so I'd have to get it written down, or your arm is gonna stay off for a bit.
How long... How long do you have this knowledge to put it back on?
I don't think I'm gonna sleep for a bit, so probably for a while.
Do you think we can get back to the portal?
If I can cast fly again.
But
I can get enough magic to cast it onto creatures if needed. Because I haven't refocused my energies yet today on my studies. So it's
is it more important for you to try to recover some magic so you can cast fly instead of ripping it out of your spellbook?
I mean I can try writing it down. I don't want you to lose your arm. And I don't know how long.
I can cast gentle repose on my arm.
Okay.
It's weird casting a spell on myself to preserve my dead body, but you know.
As soon as we get back, I'm going to sew it on.
I'm still here. What's an arm?
Yeah.
Oh
This
man,
little fool would make me another one.
I don't get to make you a mechanical robot arm.
Well, maybe if we get back, we find
I'm dead. I should.
high heal, somebody else that heals a lot, maybe they can do something for him. He's not like fully dead.
But how do we get him out of this Terrazine?
Crowbar.
I considered that. I didn't consider that to get my hammer out.
Meckel, roll a history check.
I honestly did consider that.
You have a little bit of more of emotional clarity in this situation,
It doesn't help at all.
but you
7.
know all of everything that Argus knows.
Okay, 7.
No.
I'm still mad at him, so it's going to take.
Still
me-
mad at
First
Argus?
of all, you know
Or Zemdak?
that I was on fire, so my anger goes up when I'm on fire. You
He,
know that.
he yelled at me, so
Okay.
I'm soothing I'm self-soothing with my flute. It just so happens that it helps the rest of you guys.
You have to remember that when I'm on fire, my emotions are higher.
It doesn't make it okay.
I can't even vortex warp him out of there because the Terrazine would take and
Yeah.
block the magic. I hate this.
My hammer's in there. That's what it's, we could try to, I don't know.
I could break it free.
How you gonna do that? How you gonna break it free?
I start looking at it, and I'm like, if I yell loud enough at it, I might be able to shatter it.
And keep
Would
the
you?
body intact?
Yeah.
Would I? Do you know that? Is that something you would know?
Intuitively.
Technically, it's something that you would know
That's
because
what
of
I'm asking.
because of what Zemdak has done with constructs and used Shatter before,
Yeah, but
and you know what it does to things like that are glass, crystal, construct, metal. It doesn't affect organic material as much. It's possible. You just know that.
I'm actually Meckel's building off of the shout, but I do have shatter.
right.
Yeah, the shout again, sonic stuff, not a bad idea.
Granted, how big is this area?
It's about the size of this room. It's
Is
not
it
huge.
larger than a 10-foot square, though? Because I think that's what I would need, and I don't want to hit all of us in it.
Yeah, if we were down and... It doesn't really say.
Log, Trisheni, and Kent. Argus can roll an Arcana check.
Large enough to fit 7 people, right?
The person that would know the
Yeah,
most about
so
this
it's-
is the person that's encased.
I will reach out to him. No, I'm joking.
You can roll a history check to roll a con check. Not really.
Oh. Stop playing the DM.
I know. I'm
All
just
right.
joking. Anything I say, you're not allowed to. No.
By Adam.
I had a 12.
17.
6.
Poor buddy. 17. With the medicine check that you rolled and this Arcana check and stuff that you've learned about Terrazine, it's a catalyst. It helps other things. It keeps other things in a certain way. It amplifies other things, suspends other things. It works as a what is
Conduit?
the type of electoral term? Insulator for certain things.
Yeah.
In this instance, it is most likely the thing that is keeping him suspended. Meaning, unless you're ready to do it again, to try it again, and in a position to do so,
Yeah, this is the... So
Michael doesn't
we
know.
can't do this again until we're ready. Until you're ready. So it can't be until at least tomorrow.
Yeah. I also worry about trying to throw magic at Terrazine to try to make it explode. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
technically, your shout is not.
I was
magic.
actually referring specifically to the shatter. I was extrapolating. Meckel was sort of like intuiting that, but yeah, I've already used the shout for the day.
Yeah. The shout is not magic, it's an ability. Shatter is magic.
Your shout may be able to work.
I don't think I can do it again until I get some rest. My throat is sore.
Okay.
Or this area.
That's fair.
Those that have
knows?
wanted to take a short rest have taken a short rest, correct?
Yeah.
If I'm not doing anything else, I guess I'll take a short rest.
Don't forget the Song of Rest
Yep.
is also available to you, so you also get an additional D6 on top of whatever hit dice you would like to spend. Trisheni, you have the short rest ability that allows arcane recovery, which allows you to get your spells back based
Just
on,
gonna
you know
use
how that works.
one.
Do you get anything else back? Does your sister
Do
get
I
anything
get
else back
Any bonus?
Um,
on a short
Plus your
rest?
constitution.
Planar.
Right, no, I meant
Action
do
surge
I
and
get
stuff like
bonus
that.
from the
Yeah, but I
rest?
never used
don't
it
think I do.
for.
Yep. And Second Wind and a couple other things,
Yeah,
I think.
but I never used any of those this time.
Yeah.
So I get back 9.
Alright, now I'm out of hit dice. I get my divine, my channel divinities, I believe, on a short rest.
Log.
Oh,
It's 39.
I actually do have my shout back.
I'm back to.
It's
At-
any
back
rest.
to more.
A short or long rest. That's
Yep.
correct. You get it back on a short rest. That's correct. Short or long rest. Log. Twig.
So I do think I can shout again if I needed to.
During your, are you resting?
Yeah.
You rolled all your stuff.
Yep.
You got your extra short Song of Rest D6.
Mm-hmm.
Twig seems out of sorts. Not like wrong, like there's something wrong with him. They're like kind of moving around a lot, like trying to get your attention.
What's wrong, little buddy?
I keep trying to like a dog would trying to get you to pet him, trying to like get you under your hand, under your arm.
I'd look for a place to scritch the mechanoid spider.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Both are 12. I don't do I have anything to investigation? I do, so 15.
15. You see like there's a part kind of like under and to the side that appears to be kind of stuck. It looks like there's like a panel that's trying to open, but it can't. It's a little stuck on their body.
Try and gently pry it.
Sure, go ahead and roll sleight of hand. Without breaking them.
Right. That's only another 15.
Oh, great.
At disadvantage.
You're able to kind of like pop whatever it is. Like there's just kind of a small click as it gets unsnagged, and then it kind of like flips over, and there is this small what it looks like a viewfinder or some sort of like monitor or projector that seems to project as it now like kind of like hovers in space for a moment as it's fully upside down because it's kind of like a disc, you know, like a little rounded frisbee, and it projects what looks like some sort of holographic image. And you see there's a bunch of holographic images here. It's connected to the network here. At this thing, you see what looks like a bunch of different pictures of different hallways, lights, different rooms. Some are just static; they're unable to connect. But you see, it looks like it's tapped into, basically, for the player reference, the security camera network of this area. One of the ones you see in particular that it kind of like beeps onto and then widens, enhances, and makes bigger so that it's just the one on the screen is what looks like that thing, that construct that you just saw, moving down one of the hallways. There's no sound, but there's visual, and it's all inside of a kind of like a blue scale, not like a grayscale, but like a blue scale. And you see it kind of like walking down there, and it's like showing you what it's doing.
Is there enough to be able to tell, like, that's close to us, that's far away from us? Like,
You don't really know this area. That's going to be really, really difficult. Do you try to communicate that with, try to like ask that of Twig?
yeah.
Twig kind of like shows you where you are, and then tries to show you cameras in order that lead away from you that you're kind of understanding. Somebody who has a higher intelligence probably would have a little bit of easier understanding of what's going on here, but you kind of grasp the concept. The only problem is that there are a few cameras that are out of commission on the way there. It seems to be not nearby, as far as you can tell. There would absolutely be a way of being able to find out exactly which route this thing is down because of how cameras are work and everything. As long as you can try to extrapolate the ones that aren't working, that would be more of like a survival check that I would give somebody at advantage because they have this assisted thing. It does appear to continue to follow the troop of this one. Once it comes out of frame of that camera, it minimizes it. You see all the collage of all the cameras. There are hundreds of cameras. As it then pulls up, very kind of Lucian Fox Batman, all those things, you know what I'm talking about? Like all the little spy camera things, that type of style. And then it makes another one so you can see where it is moving. Eventually, if you're watching this long enough while you're resting, you see it stop. It reaches some sort of bay, docking bay, something, some sort of bay that where it looks like it is connecting to some type of thing as it reaches out its arm, and the spire kind of like goes into some sort of hole. And you see the camera kind of back out and zoom out. There's some sort of digitized processing on some sort of terminal nearby. As it does so, nearby are a bunch of pods that kind of line the wall, about maybe 40 pods that line the wall next to this station, this like docking station for this particular construct. And as it widens, you can see that. You also see there's like 20 other constructs almost identical like this. Not all of them are in this type of condition, like prime condition. Several of them look like the parts of the structure itself has collapsed and they're gone. But there are a bunch of others still possibly operational. You see these pods there. You see this processing happening on this terminal as it sticks its arm spire thing into this. There is a fleeting image of, you can't tell, some sort of bipedal thing as it goes too fast up on it. And then one of the pods nearby lights up and glows, and you see like a 3D printer. Eleazar appears in one of the pods.
We might have some company soon, maybe. I don't know. And I just saw Eleazar in a tube.
He's not gone?
Yeah.
This is also easily visible to the rest of you as well. This could be the little TV show you're watching while you're taking your nap or you're taking your short rest. Yeah.
Right.
So, like, they popped him in a pocket dimension and then spit him back out?
Nope.
It's the only thing that logically would make sense in this.
Yeah.
Like digitized him in a tractor beam kind of buffer Wraith style, Stargate Wraith style kind of deal, and then
how much
3D
we would
printed him.
understand, like the most.
Oh
thing
yeah,
that
no,
would
no,
make
for
the
sure,
most sense
for,
to
for
me.
player reference. Like, and then 3D printed him back in a pod after they deposited him to the bank of what they've grabbed. Next to him is also an active pod of one of those individuals that you saw, kind of like those biomechanoid, just kind of same type of like that double helix, mostly hollow type of construct feel, where it seems robotic, but it also the way the metal twists and turns and how it doesn't seem all metallic, doesn't seem fully constructy.
Yeah.
Same type of thing.
Could we put Zemdek in one of those, like the doctor did with all of his things in his lab?
Not right now, I don't think.
A lot of this shit seems broken.
Yeah, but I mean, if we can find that pod that made your friend, maybe we can put your other friend in that pod.
Well, we don't know what they're doing in that pod with him.
Yeah.
Twig, can you go back to last time you saw that these cameras saw Trisheni here?
You see it like VHS tape to like record, rewind, and you see one camera that is outside of the doorway into the core, and you see them walk into the core before you lose sight of them. And you just go, mom, mom, mom.
Protocols don't allow for them to know what's going on in there.
What about? Did anything leave the core?
Yeah.
Did Zemdak leave the core? We have no clue what happened.
Yeah. Why did he die?
You see Zemdak leaving the core. Rather than describing the changes of camera, you see Zemdak leaving the core with Cole, walking with them, having a conversation.
That's not right.
Then you see down the hallway continuing to talk. More and more and more scenes of that.
Am I able to see what they're saying?
It's very. I'm gonna roll for the security cameras as to like how the
good they are.
resolution is after who knows how long they've been here and how much shit they have had to gone through. But yes, if it's somewhat visible, yeah,
Can I assist him?
Well, it's not me. Like it's all about the cameras.
absolutely, yeah.
Oh, I'm
I
just
was
saying I'm so used to it that
What I'll just say is that you will together be able to get more information.
Okay.
The resolution is not great, but you are able to get some. I would say you'd be able to get the gist of what is happening as long as one of the faces is facing the camera, so you can see their lips. I'd say you'd probably be able to get about 70% of what happened that you watched happen when you were in the green room. One of the, I believe, most poignant things that you probably saw was the assault on Zemdak. And one of the things that kind of is just doesn't quite make, just immediately seems notable is how Cole like caressed his cloak and said, like, I've missed you as well. Or like, it's been a long time.
Is that whole like danger sense I was getting before re-triggered now?
Ooh, yeah, watching this, yeah, for sure.
where does Doctor go after?
You start to see this thing also as it's doing the levitate
Or
thing in
not-
Doc
sorry,
Ock style,
not Doctor.
hitting cameras as it is moving through. Probably not meaning to,
Yeah,
but
cool.
a bunch of cameras go out of commission as it kind of crashes into them as it's moving its way down the thing pursuing Zemdak. But there's no cameras in the core,
Do
so
we
you don't get to see what happened to Zemdak.
Do we see Cole leaving ever?
Yeah.
Twig?
You see what the thing that was
Yeah.
Cole tear open the blast doors into the core, go into the core, and that's all that it has.
No external cameras? Nothing outside?
It pulls up external cameras, and it zooms in on a part from part where you can see just empty space for a moment, and then there's a flash and like a teleport tear, and Zemdak's body appears there.
Okay.
So that thing could still be here.
Yeah, we need to get the fuck out of here.
How did it get here?
I mean,
Twig, do you have anything of the thing that is
The
Cole
body is
arriving?
twitching in this video, meaning it's not dead at that moment. It died while you guys were traveling in space.
Which means we could have been in time.
yeah.
Shouldn't have freaking used kerosene.
It's not over. We can do something for him. I know we can. I think we can do it tomorrow. It just we have to make sure that we survive at this point. And we have to get out of here.
How are we going to do that? How is that portal even still open? How long is it going to take us to get there? Can we breathe? There's so many factors.
Can we leave Zemdek in here?
No,
So
No.
where do we put him?
in the box.
Put him in the box.
You need to get out of here in order to open up the box.
Right.
Yeah.
This room's too small for the box.
Open up the box.
I'd say the hallway is maybe just big enough to be able to have a permutation of the box be able to unfold.
I think the question is too, where do we want to go? I still have enough catalyst dust to
Wait,
open up the.
is it safe in the whatever quarters?
Is there air anywhere?
Security wise, is it safe?
It pulls up what looks like bedrooms.
Will we be disturbed there? Will a security drone come and try to take us?
Get kind of a busy signal. From your, you get to telepathically communicate intent with this thing, so
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know.
I did.
But there's air here. It's minimal. It's not great.
I mean, I can do the hut wherever we end up.
Okay.
Give us a little more time than here.
Can you take us to that other place?
No, I don't have control over that. You kind of blasted me there. The other
Maybe I
realm
could do
that
it
found
again.
you?
No.
That's too scary. Because I didn't take anyone with me.
Let's gather air here. Let's use some canister or something. I still have the helmet. We can fly back. We can get through the
Twig,
portal.
how far is this location? How long is it going to take us to travel there?
You get from Twig 10, 15 minutes by foot if you hurry.
I'll share that.
There is a open route. There's a slight amount of structural damage, but you should be able to do it.
How's the patrol for that section?
Or can you direct it to?
It is going to attempt to try to hack into a network that it is not logged into right now.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
It's just the camera network right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the security cameras that it's logged into. It's not like everything else. It's able to get some. It's just sensors that it's logged into. So it's sensors like knowing where there's atmosphere, knowing where the cameras are, those types of things. Sensors are all it has right now. It's trying to now lock into like
Spotted.
quartermaster, logistics, supplies, those types of things, and see
Could
what's.
you make it think that there's something someplace?
It is
else?
able to pull up a
out
limited list.
No. The camera.
That shows a small picture of where those constructs were, those bulky constructs, and it looks to there appear to be 7 that are functional. Only 2 are online. 1 of which is still recharging, updating, that type of thing, and only 1 is still on patrol right now. Given the size of this thing, this thing is huge. Even if it's only patrolling areas of which it can patrol because due to structural damage that are actual passable, the chances of you coming in contact with it during a 15-minute walk are minimal.
No, I kind of meant give it a false call is what I meant. But if it might not be an issue.
Yeah.
The camera can see you, Kevin.
I'm not here.
Let's get Zemdek in the box. What else is in the box?
Or the worm head.
Do we have room in the box?
There's a couple spaces open.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get him in the box so we can move.
You have to leave in order to get him in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll leave once. Yeah.
Do we need to like tie a rope to him or something?
So I have one arm. Who's going to be able to lift this thing and get him in the box?
I can
I
do
can
it.
do it.
Okay.
Let me do it because you're needed more than I am. Oh, you're needed more than I
I'm
am.
gonna save you
mean-
some time. After the hour, you guys exit. You're able to open up the box in that kind of long S formation. It's the only one that's gonna fit in this hallway. Whatever else is on that spot. You said there are some spots available, correct? You can put Zemdek in there. Zemdek weighs, at the moment, probably about 180 pounds because of the terrazine crystals. It's heavy. It's not heavy. Put him in there. Ask the boss to close back up and shrink. It does. You have now both Tortesi Trellius's body in the bag of holding and Zemdak's body suspended in the box. Strange to have that happen again, isn't it? So, you're no longer in the Sky Lounge. Tweg can like act as a compass for you to tell you where to go as you kind of hold him out, kind of tricorder style. And you guys walk.
I'm going to actually, while they're finishing up with the box, I'm going to take off my boots or sandals or shoes or whatever footwear I'm wearing so that I can touch the ship itself and feel for those vibrations.
Railroad track style. I
Yeah.
totally understand. Yes, you can do so. It is cold. There is no air here. You guys grabbed a bunch of air. Here's what I'll say. Given the amount of empty vessels that you carry on yourselves at any given moment, you will, I will say this, as long as it doesn't take you an hour, more than an hour to get from one place to another, be able to breathe fine. Make sense? That's what I'll say. You guys have an hour of air as long as you're able to refill the air at places that have air. Sound good? Good? You have an hour air tank amongst the 4 of you. That's all that's left of you, isn't it? 4.
Yeah.
You continue to move.
9 for a while.
3 have been lost in the past several hours. You continue to walk. You move at a somewhat hurried pace as Tweg is kind of egging you on, like, move, come on, let's go. You are able to find yourselves to some of the crew quarters. The door opens. There is like a bit of like off-gassing in a type of way as Twig is like, get in. And you guys get in. There is a type of, this is very Star Trek-y. This is kind of like a Star Trek bedroom. It's very kind of Spartan. There's not too very many decorations. It closes and then it begins to repressurize. And you find that you're able to breathe. It is very thin air, as if you were at the top of a mountain, but it is air nonetheless. It is still chilly in here, but it is not in the vacuum of space chilly. Small lights begin to slowly dim up. And to give this kind of like orange air, there is one window that's kind of an oval area. It's a bit long, it's not too small, that you can look out and you can see the stars. The only decoration in this room, other than the silk sheets or something similar to silk, on the bed, on the one like king-size bed here, which is also like not in a way that you're familiar with. It's slanted in a way, and almost like slanted and then kind of beveled. It doesn't really make sense. How would you sleep on that comfortably? It doesn't make sense to you. You see just one piece of decoration in this room. It is what looks like a painting. You're not sure if it's printed or painted, but it seems to be like a kind of an oil painting style. That is a large, wide landscape that is over the area that would be a mantle if there would be like a fireplace here, but there's not. It's just kind of like over the area that you would see if you were laying in the bed, kind of over here in the dim lights. What you see is it's landscape. It's landscape painting of there is some sort of ground, like very odd planetoid ground, some vegetation you're not familiar with. What is most prominent here is an individual humanoid bipedal standing in the foreground, back turned to the audience, facing the background. The individual is... You haven't seen something like this before. That doesn't look... You don't know what race this is. You can see half of its face kind of in a way where it is... is kind of like looking to the edge of the painting, not at to the like straight that way, so you can see kind of its profile, but just a little bit less as it's cheating in instead of out. No mouth, no nose, only eyes, large head. The second you look at this, you think of
Faceless.
that's kind of the skeletal thing that we found near that the dragon bones. That looks very, very similar to that. There's no role required. Like this looks like this. That's kind of what this looks like. No mouth, no nose, just eyes. Eye sockets at least, which like some light coming from them, which also kind of looks like the faceless. In the background, you see what looks like some sort of celebration among other individuals that's happening there, and then like it kind of goes deep down and becomes a hill, and upon the hill looks like there's maybe some construction material, nothing that you've seen before. This is way beyond, way too futuristic for you to entirely understand, but it looks like something was maybe just finished being built, and there is a well wall that sits on the hill off in the distance that this thing seems to be proud with one hand on its hip that is there. And it is a kind of pastoral landscape.
Anything like this I've ever seen the doctor messing with? Parts or...
Roll a history check for me.
Nope.
Nope.
Not with a 3.
So as you look at this painting or picture, you're not sure what, and are in somewhat hopefully a place where you can breathe and maybe even the minorest of safety. There's a couple things that occur to you, and there are now dots. You're not sure how to connect, but they're there. And that's where we're going to end this episode. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. And as always, stay safe out there.